Shout out to LTTV. Shout out to LTTV.
Evan for hosting Nick on my B-Day. Nick, would you say that you have a lot of support from a Black/Hispanic audience? And if so, how come? Unfortunately, missed out on the rally tickets to see for myself.
Yeah, blacks love me because I'm honest.
Blacks love me.
Yeah.
Right?
I love them.
No, we don't believe you, bro.
How she refer to blacks then? How she refer?
You don't want to hear my second choice.
Oh yeah,
It's a joke.
It's funny. You should actually do stand-up sometime. Maybe
Maybe.
I think she's joking.
Okay.
No.
I hope so.
Do it, Nick. Do it.
No, I can't.
Hard to get
That would be implied.
Do it next so you can get banned again.
Well, you can say it.
I say it. Come on, man. I want you to say it.
For real. Yeah, what you got?
You want me to say it? Is anyone going to hit me if I say it?
No. 2 hours. Come on, Nick. What you got?
All right, nigger.
Oh yeah, ban them now.
Yeah, LTTV, Blunt Talk with LT, back at it with another video. All right, so let's get right into this one. This is bigger than Fresh and Fit right now. This has went left in the YouTube space. This whole reaction to this whole letting this clown say nigger on their platform. So there has to be some strong lines drawn in the sand moving forward. Fuck a lot of these niggas. That's what it comes down to. All these women on this panel all went out sad. They all complained at the end of the... Hold on, let's go into it. They all complained, but they went to Fresh and Fit, a bunch of goddamn coons. Y'all knew what you signed up for. They stayed to the end because it promotes their Instagram. They know what they signed up for. And this is one of the times where he brought a full panel of black women. Usually they mix it up a little bit. Full panel of black women. Throughout the entire intro, hey y'all's at the sound effects, like, yo, hold on, y'all gotta see this. Everybody played them goddamn selves in this. Hold on, y'all. The end of this, they took this down. This is currently on Rumble. I didn't get to download the video on YouTube while it was still on YouTube, but this is still on Rumble.
The consequence.
Yeah, the consequences that come because everything we all have choices.
Hold on. So attacking him.
No, that's what I'm saying. He definitely knows like to not. He's not.
The states and free speech.
Is
the
that
best
the
part of the show.
transgender?
All right, girls. Fresh.
Last thoughts or
No,
disagreements?
fresh. No, last thoughts, fresh.
Niggas, don't tell me. It's for them.
Yeah. That's what I just said. All right, ladies. Last thoughts or disagreements on the show, or how much you hate Nick.
My friend's smart.
Yeah, I don't appreciate Nick
Yes.
saying the N-word. Just cause, like, no.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
I don't want to hear that from anybody in this goddamn room. Y'all egged him on. Y'all know who Nick Fuentes is. He's a known racist. Y'all are cheering him on to say nigga, and then you want to be mad about it after. All these women could have left at any given point. They're not going to put their hands on him. They could have left, but they want their shit promoted at the end of the day. This whole YouTube shit has been turned into this gross money grab where nobody stands on anything. This is beyond, hold on, let me see what's going on right quick. This is beyond Fresh and Fit. This is why I said this is beyond Fresh and Fit in the panel, because we already know Fresh and Fit are a bunch of coons. We know the panel's going to play themselves for promotion. We know Nick Fuentes is a racist. We know this. It's all the other black men's reactions to this. These niggas is jumping through the hoops. These niggas is jumping through the hoops to try to justify this shit. They're trying to intellectualize their cowardice. I said this in Fatty's chat as I was calling out Aaron O. I got timed out as a member and a mod. I got timed out for giving an opinion that goes against whatever's going on in the panel. I censored myself. I did not cuss anybody out. The cowardice that's going on in these spaces. These niggas sit on their panels and say they have no power. We're powerless to do anything about this. Why even get up in arms? It's just a word. If you feel you're powerless because you're a dumbass. You don't understand your role in the media. You contribute to the problem with your weak bitch ass. Aaron O is an Anton Daniels underling. Got Anton Daniels over there on that channel. I thought Fatty hated that nigga. It doesn't even make goddamn sense. You got Quentin mixing up over there. This whole shit is weird. I try to play nice with some of y'all folks, but this shit is weird. Y'all are all clowns. It's like I fucks with a few folks over there on that channel, but half of these niggas on that panel, those guys are clowns. Absolute cowards. And when women get in these spaces and they get so emotional by the words that the women are saying because they know the women are right. These guys don't stand for nothing. They're all trying to finesse their way into a bag. It's pathetic. Stand for nothing. Wonder why your women don't respect you. You guys are fucking cowards.
Because I don't even say it like that. I don't even say it like that. I don't say it like that.
We don't say it.
Me personally, like, I don't think that's just cool. Like, if
I don't care if you say it. You're a black woman. You could say it all you want. No one gives a fuck. It's like Dana White. Dana White stood on his platform and someone was talking about the racial tension or the racial dynamic between Israel Adesanya and whoever he was going to fight. And Izzy was saying nigga a bunch of times. They asked Dana White, what does he think about that? He's like, don't ask me that bullshit.
We don't care.
Let me tell you.
He's like, that's a black man saying nigga, don't ask me that bullshit. Shout out to New Jordan Era with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Said, hey LT, people will do anything for clout and money. I took the time off to cool down. Still a little heated. Still a little annoyed. Still a bit annoyed. Seeing the weakness that I'm seeing on these platforms. Niggas is really trying to intellectualize the cowardice. Oh, we can't stand up. We can't do nothing. It's the black community. It's the words that are holding us back. So do you think the Jewish community is playing this shit? Hold on. Do y'all really think the Jewish community's playing this shit? If you use the K word, you think that you're getting forced to donate $50,000 to the ADL? Your life is going to be in shambles. Your job may be compromised. They're putting your foot on your neck. This is the media space. This is a space where we actually have power and influence. And I don't want to hear niggas act like these spaces are not influential. They try to say, oh, this is just some YouTube shit. Whatever you say here is inconsequential. It's not influential. If it's not influential, then why the fuck are half of you niggas copying my shit? If it's not influential, why the fuck y'all so influenced by my shit? Y'all niggas are stealing the whole layout, stealing straight up terms and lines that I've said before. If it's not influential.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
P. Morton says King Dusty O'Shea at least has weeks. Nah, you can't go at O'Shea here. This is the one time you don't go at O'Shea. I didn't fuck with O'Shea before the whole Pearl shit. O'Shea proved himself. O'Shea stands on his... Hold on, man. O'Shea actually stands on something. O'Shea actually has principle. O'Shea actually stands on code. O'Shea's not one of these sellouts when it comes to this shit. So I'm defending O'Shea there. O'Shea earned his stripes in that regard. The rest of these guys are fucking cowards. Goddamn frauds.
If you want to say it, go ahead and say it, but you're going to get your ass beat at the end of the day. Like, that's just how it is.
Like,
you're going to say it to the wrong person one day, but it's okay.
First of all, nigga's smart enough to know that he can only say the N-word in certain settings.
Yeah, I don't think he's...
You hear that? Nick is smart enough to know that he could only say it in certain. Wow.
What?
He's smart enough to say it in certain social settings around a bunch of coons and a bunch of women that want to promote their IGs or whatever, so they ain't gonna say nothing, and they can't physically do anything to him, but they all egged him on. So nobody's innocent here.
I get that you guys are in your feelings right now, but you got to understand that we live in the United States, and free speech is a thing, and I think that's very important. That's what sets us apart from other countries. And you know,
free speech is a real thing, but there's consequences for saying the wrong thing. They're trying to say, oh, this is just words. They're trying to say this is just words. If Nick Fuentes called me a bitch, I'm slapping the dog shit out of him. So it's not just words. Choose a few words. Call me a nigger, you're getting mobbed. So it's like, come on, man, what are we doing out here?
The part about free speech that people love to disregard.
Selective as fuck.
Freedom of consequence.
Yeah, the consequences that come, because everything we all have choices.
Hold on. So attacking him.
No, that's not saying he definitely knows, like, to not. He's not walking down the street saying the N-word. Like,
no, but here's the thing. Like, wouldn't it be ridiculous for you to physically attack someone because they say something?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you shouldn't. No.
Yeah,
absolutely.
In the right context, someone could put their hands on somebody for the wrong things that they said. Don't be delusional out here. These guys sit on their panels all day, every day, and say that the women need to be submissive to the men on these panels, because with men there's always the fear of conflict. Something might happen between two men, so there's this respect that's given. The women are inferior, so they have to simmer down with their speech. All this bullshit that they say on Fresh and Fit podcast. So when it comes to those points where it gets heated and the man is dominant over the woman, why is that? Because he's physically stronger? So if a man's physically stronger and dominant over another man, what does he have to do to enforce that physical dominance? Niggas trying to act like, always trying to intellectualize the cowardice. Everybody's trying to do that out here.
I agree.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
So but if somebody feels like attacking you because you disrespected them, they also have the right to do that as well, whether it's right or wrong.
No, they don't, because they're gonna go to jail for
Yeah, big time.
If you're a police,
he has the right to say whatever he wants, but the thing is that if he says it, he shouldn't be attacked for it physically. Like,
he should not. But if that's the concept,
you could say he should not be attacked, but he might be attacked. You go the wrong. This is the thing. They're trying to. This is the power of influence. These guys don't get it. That's why they're getting so much money for their super chats, and they have all their dweebly nerds in the comment section cheering it on because they all want to say nigga. There's a campaign for a bunch of folks online saying black folks shouldn't say nigga because we can't say nigga as white folks. This ridiculousness. So when they see shit like this, they're gonna be like, oh, you can't touch me. It's just a word, freedom of speech. I shouldn't lose my job. I'm not a racist. Freedom of speech. This is Nick Fuentes. This is the nigga that's been canceled everywhere for good reason. They took this they took this off of YouTube, put it on Rumble for good reason. Fresh and Fit they're following the Pearl playbook. They think they're gonna get on Piers Morgan. They think that this whole red pill space is turned into this weird alt-right racist space. They think this is gonna take them to national TV. They thought niggas just swinging and a missing. We're gonna get into this because they do a whole bunch of disrespectful. Wait, wasn't there more girls in the beginning? Oh shit, I got super chats. My bad, y'all. Let me get into these super chats. I'm a little invested in this right now. Shout out to Wild Seed with the $50. I can't remember which country that is, but I think that's Sweden.
I'm getting rich.
These women are ghetto gaggers. Ain't no way they are not. Say the N-word in front of me, it's over. Facts. Vanda Cinema with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Myron Caping. Myron Capping, my bad. He knows if he was out shopping with his mom or girlfriend and someone calls them a bitch, he will definitely attack them physically. He was trying to attack somebody physically in London because they were talking shit to them riding a bike past them. Merely talking shit riding a bike. And he wanted to attack them physically. So these niggas need to stop the goddamn cap. Words are just words in the right context in person. All this internet shit makes people feel words are just words. When they say that to somebody you advise these folks to say stupid shit in the face of the wrong person and hands will be put on them. All this internet shit has these niggas jumping out the window, acting like.
Consequences that come with it. Just like if I went and robbed the bank and I didn't get caught, I ain't get caught.
Well, there's a difference. One's protected by the First Amendment, the other one isn't.
Right. No, I understand what you're saying. And again, he can absolutely say what he wants.
It is 100% lawful for him to say that, but it's not 100% lawful for someone to attack him.
But
so
a consequence is a consequence, honey.
Okay, and that person's going to go to prison.
All right, I just remembered this bitch ass nigga's name. I was trying to remember his name, but he's a no-name brand. Fuck you, Granville, you bitch ass nigga. Eat a dick. Granville's the one that timed me out. Granville, eat a dick, you pussy ass nigga.
Everybody got to accept If you're going to say, you got to accept the consequences.
This is, I hate to say this is a nigga mentality. He's not breaking the law, but you guys immediately say, well, it's okay to break the law even though he's not breaking the law.
I didn't say that at all. What I said was, it's okay for him to do what he wants, but it's also okay if somebody wants to attack him.
No, it's not okay because it's illegal.
It's okay because if that's what they want to do, people can do what they want to do.
No, this is what I mean when I say people are so stupid. He has a First Amendment right, not a privilege, a right to say what he wants. You do not have a right to attack someone for speaking freely.
I agree. I'm not saying that it's right at all. I'm just saying people,
I did not forget to pause. That zesty ass nigga is gonna eat a dick.
all have the right to do what the fuck we want.
So you don't. We don't. He has the right to do that.
You just
and it's
broke it
legal.
down.
If I want to do anything that I want to do, I can go do it. Whether it's
Shout out to Artichoke Hearts with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Fresh and Fit are literally the modern day Sambo and Quimbo. They throw them both away. Yeah, fuck these niggas. Fuck any support anybody's ever had. Well, speaking for myself, because when they first popped up and they were doing their shit, there was a bit of support from this channel to their channel as small content creators, black men. But that's the thing, I ain't doing that shit anymore. I learned a long time, fuck these niggas, threw these niggas the fuck away, but I'm not doing that anymore. A lot of the times people get cool with folks in these YouTube spaces. Folks will promote brands, they'll look out, they'll drop super chats, they'll get all chummy with folks. But you realize that they ain't standing on shit. They ain't standing on no principle. They'll sell out their folks. They'll sell out their people. So it's like, why would I invest in helping certain folks in these spaces if they ain't gonna stand for something? This is not one of those. This is the problem. The people in these spaces always think, okay, this is a matter of difference in opinion. And some cases are not matters of difference in opinion. It's either you're down with your people or you're not. Either it's fuck this racism bullshit, and you're using your power in the media and your power and influence to counter that crap, or you're gonna be a part of it, and you're gonna diminish your people in the public, because that's what people are doing. And they're always trying to justify a way to be a coward. Oh, we have no power. We have the world of power right now. The folks just don't want to use the power. Nobody wants to align. Nobody wants to stay on code. They're not using the power. Aaron O said on Fatty's channel that black people are always looking for somebody else to save them and enact some sort of power like the Jewish community does. Meanwhile, the folks that are in the black community with power are saying, oh, no, we have no power. We can't do nothing. We can't run a narrative. It's like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Y'all don't want to step up to the plate and be the leaders that you claim to be in these spaces. That's why these bitches is running all over y'all. That's why y'all complaining and campaigning to be just like the bitches.
Legal or illegal, I still have the right.
But you understand the consequences.
Exactly. Life is about choices. You're not gonna sit here and tell me that just because I choose to do something illegal that it's wrong. I mean, it is wrong, but
it's L.
I'm born and raised.
I didn't say it was right.
I am born and raised.
I didn't say it was right. I didn't say it was right. If I did, I misspoke. I promise. I didn't mean that it was right. But if somebody decides to attack him because of what he said, then that's okay.
Nick, like I said what I said.
So ultimately, he can say whatever he wants.
They're saying this is the red pill, but they're not being realistic. Of course, what Myron's saying, it's against the law to put your hands on somebody if they say something that's in their amendment rights. Like, they're allowed to the freedom of speech, but there's consequences for this. Because somebody like Nick Fuentes got canceled from everything, there's really no consequence for him because he's nowhere. He's not employed by anything. None of these platforms align with them. Anybody else that tries to say this shit, they try to push this influence off to other people. They're going to lose their jobs. They're going to lose their livelihood. There's going to be ramifications and repercussions for this.
Wants to say. Yes. But if someone attacks him, that's a prerogative, but it's still wrong.
Yes, that's literally what I'm saying.
But you said I was right.
But it's not wrong for him to say what he wants.
Yeah, he can still.
And what I'm saying is these people they're out of touch in reality. Is because people they don't care if it's against the law. If you disrespect people in the wrong settings, they will put their hands on them. So leading people astray and acting like these aren't things that are going to happen, they might just happen. Right, wrong, we don't care.
Whatever he wants.
I said he can say what he wants. I said that.
But everybody has to understand that there's a
trying to
consequence.
conflate a First Amendment right to someone being an idiot and breaking the law in response to him exercising his right.
Again,
it's not the
Myron,
same.
I didn't say it was the same, but again, if they choose to do that, they just choose to do that. I'm saying it's a choice.
They're stupid as fuck.
I didn't say that they're not. They're stupid. If someone comes and attacks.
All right, so if someone comes up to you, looks you in the face, calls you a bitch ass nigga, looks at your girl, says she's a weak little bitch, says I'm gonna steal your bitch right in front of you, whatever, just generic insults. Y'all fill in the blanks here. You're just gonna take that, Mr. Aaron C. Pogson? Words are just words. In the correct setting. Are you just gonna take that? Because setting matters. Certain places, people are gonna talk shit and get away with it. Obviously, you're not gonna try. People are gonna choose to pick and choose their battles at airports, on the plane, in front of a bunch of cameras. But in the wrong setting, you're not being realistic, sir. You keep talking about right, wrong, illegal, legal. Doesn't matter. Disrespect's disrespect. People don't play that shit.
Because he said, yes, Catherine thinks that that's stupid. But again, just like he decided to say because he wanted to, they decided to punch him in the face because they wanted to. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I
one's
understand that.
one isn't, so you can't. So why are you even bringing it up?
Yeah.
Facts.
I'm trying to understand that.
You're trying to conflate
Shit, I missed the super chat earlier. Jay the Informant with the $2 super chat. Slap the like button, y'all. Wait, slap the like button like y'all would slap Nick. Okay. Shout out to you.
Right.
With a choice.
Breaking the law.
With a choice.
I'm getting rich.
What's going on this screen?
That's illegal.
Hey,
She
listen.
just said there's consequences to
But
your
he knows
actions.
it's
That's
gonna
literally her
happen.
point. That was just her point.
Exactly.
We're just saying it's not right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I said it's not right
No
a
one
million
said it was
times.
right. I didn't say it was
Like,
right if he were to get
I
hit.
said I said it's a choice. I said it's a choice. I didn't say it was right.
It's a choice to be in jail.
Okay, this is
I enjoy
Life's
it.
about
broke down a
choices.
barrier. I broke down an important
Life's about
barrier
choices at the end of the
tonight.
day.
And now,
I ain't gonna lie. Y'all just gave
Now
some
we're
nigga
healing.
responses to First Amendment right. Y'all gave some.
You hear this? He said you're giving some nigger responses to First Amendment rights.
I'm not walking around smacking white people. I grew up in Bumblefuck, Indiana, bro. Like, the fucking KKK was started there. The Pole Mark lives there. Like, I understand what happens right here. That's why I don't care if white people say the N-word. Now, mind you, Nick ain't gonna keep saying it in front of me, but he does have the right to say it. And if I wanted to smack Nick, I could. Yeah, would I go to jail?
yeah,
Yes,
you're going to
sure.
jail.
Sure, but again, that's my choice. If I want to go to jail for smacking somebody, let me go to jail for smacking somebody. That's all I ask.
Him just saying the word doesn't offend me at all. It's in the way of content. If he says you black, then we got a problem. But he didn't say that shit.
But it's still
Did
not
I
okay
say
to
I
attack
thought you was
him.
my nigga.
But if you wanted to, you could.
Yeah, like I ain't, man.
This is incredible.
We
Yeah,
need
you're
to-
massacre. This is an asinine argument. Watch this shit back, and you're gonna see like, what the fuck was I saying?
We waste time.
You're trying to
Yes.
you're trying to compare his
We have
First
so
Amendment
much
right.
I'm not.
This guy said play this shit back like he's saying something smart. Like, just because they going outside don't mean you ain't going outside either. What are we talking about here? You are sitting here cheering on a known racist to get on your airways as a black man with 1.5 million subscribers talking about say nigga. Then he says nigger, hard R, then repeats it again.
To a violent retaliation and breaking the law.
I didn't say it was right, though, Myron. You act like I said it was okay.
No,
I never
but
said it
you're
was
trying
okay.
to put it in the same sense. It's not
But
even
that's
the
what
same
people do,
level.
because people are stupid, because they do shit like that.
And you just equated yourself to a super person.
No, I didn't, because I literally just said that I wouldn't do it. I literally said I wouldn't do it. But we know that people do stuff like that. So I'm not going to not say it.
Oh, my God.
Ooh.
All right, let's make this 5. You know what? Let's go 1 more hour. 5 hours. Record?
I mean, the story's about to come up,
Yo, literally,
baby.
this proves my point that women are ruled by their emotions. Bro.
Yeah, bro.
Literally ruled by their emotions.
Holy.
This is wild. All right.
Okay, who's next?
Yeah. Shit.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I need to pull up that video of Myron getting mad at that the guy on the bicycle, just yelling mere words to Myron. I think he called him a beta male or something, and Myron was about to fight. Myron's veins were popping out of his head. He was in the UK. Is that a female response, Myron?
So you were triggered by him saying the N-word.
I wasn't triggered. I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it, and I'm just saying I didn't like it. That's it. I'm not triggered. I'm not like acting out or anything. I just didn't like it. Like I don't like that shit. I don't let people say that shit around me.
So
like,
she wrong for not liking that he said
I just
it?
don't like that he said that.
That's fine.
He can say what he wants. So all I said was I don't like that he said that.
Got
like
it.
that's it.
We hear you loud and clear.
Especially with a hard R. Like
Yeah.
that's weird as fuck. But cool. You can say what you want to say.
I mean, the first time he said it was hard, or
He
then the
said
second
it,
time
like,
he said
twice.
it, it was like an A.
Yeah, because she said, you're
Yeah,
my nigga.
you're
And
my
I was
nigga.
like, yeah, hell yeah.
Look, man, as a human being, you are 100%.
As he casually says it right now in the presence of 2 black men and a bunch of black women. None of the black women are going to have any self-dignity. None of them are going to stay on code at all and be like, you know what, I'm picking up. I'm not going to be a part of this. They want their Instagrams promoted at the end of the show. They want that clout. Myron and Fresh are clearly doing the conservative grift following the Pearl playbook. It's pathetic. Selling out their own kind. And Myron's currently under review. Folks do not believe Myron is even black. And then a bevy of content creators get on their platform and have discussions acting like this is not a big deal. We should not care. White folks are going to say nigga. We say it a lot too. Rap music, all sorts of excuses, powerless excuses, X, Y, and Z. It's pathetic. I'm not standing next to none of that shit. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care what type of collabs y'all want to see. I ain't standing next to that shit. The weird shit that these content creators got going on over there. All this, oh, I hate this person, but you're mixing and mingling with them on the same platform, helping them build their platform. I'm not doing that. This is some WWE cowardice. I'm that man, leaders of the community, but y'all want to troll people and do man, this whole shit's corny as fuck, man. I don't care what none of y'all say. I don't care what none of y'all say. Like I know Duke the Don's gonna come out with a video cooking these niggas. Shout out to Duke the Don. Like I could already see the video happening. I know he's not gonna be a lot of these cornballs on these platforms doing their whole ass business. So, you know, it is what it is, man.
Percent in control of your emotions, and words are just words, and the fact that you guys get triggered, I mean,
I'm not triggered.
I mean,
he wants somebody to be triggered so bad.
You felt the need to bring it up an hour plus later.
The women stayed because they're pathetic. They're clout chasing. They know if they get kicked out, if they get Frank Castled, or if they walk out early, Myron and Fresh are going to remove their Instagram handles and their OnlyFans, whatever they came to promote, and they're not going to get it promoted. So the episode's going to stay up for a long time. Not this episode. This episode got taken down. But on Rumble, nonetheless, they still get to promote their shit. And they'll probably be recurring guests. So they're doing it all for the promo. Everyone's going out sad. We see a whole industry of blacks use their platforms irresponsibly and sell out, go out looking completely weak, lacking leadership, lacking code, lacking principle, just for a little bag. And that's what I'm not fucking with at all. And that's why when I look at this, I'm like, this is just a part of it. This is just a small piece. Because these are the sellouts at the top. These are the obvious cowards. These are the obvious coons. It's the folks in black YouTube, the manosphere space, the manosphere adjacent space, making excuses for why the fuck we should just let these type of things slide. Would the Jewish folks ever let this shit slide? Making excuses, saying it's just words. It's not just words to the ADL. You're getting forced to donate 50 grand when you're only on a 40 grand per year salary to that ADL. They're putting their goddamn foot on your neck. But us, where we control these media spaces, we're letting this shit go. We're making dumbass arguments about, oh, if we don't say it so much, maybe they won't.
Who are these niggas?
Okay.
What was kind of triggering?
A disagreement with someone's First Amendment right. Okay, cool.
Yo, bro, I'm not gonna lie.
Myron. Yeah, that whole.
This panel don't deserve last thoughts.
Welcome to the Fresh Air Podcast After Hours Edition. We're joining Nick Fuentes and a bunch of lovely ladies. Let's get it!
Hold on, you see what?
So go and listen to it, and then Fresh Your Vlog, hardcover version. So go ahead and get. Then also don't forget to go ahead and get my book, guys. Why Women Deserve Less, in stores right now.
Hold up! What is this shit?
Once again, Myron stole the book from the future meme that is on Twitter, Why Women Deserve Less, and put out a pathetic book that he's selling to his fans in plans to finesse them.
It's Amazon bestseller. Oh yeah, shout out to you, man. You got the softcover version.
Welcome back.
I got the hardcover version. So go ahead and get the book right now.
Just like deja vu.
Yeah, pretty much it is. And she sat next to me last time too.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then also check out Nick on cozy.tv/Nick, because again he's been banned everywhere. So go support him right now, motherfuckers. And then Chris, go ahead.
And girls, send me a DM on RC Pox on IG. Make sure your page is not privated and you have photos. And if you're flying in from some other state to Miami, Florida, make sure that you tell me. I don't.
We don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
And if you want to, of course,
your body count.
And we're gonna start right here. Welcome back.
Hey y'all. Hey. Other work. I am. Come
Yeah. Tell us, man. Y'all in the Miami area.
Yes.
I'm
sorry.
Nick wants to
Say what your count is, man.
Portland, Oregon, and Vancouver, Washington.
Okay. Okay. Where are you from?
Kiki.
Nick is actually for that.
Yeah, I'm a little afraid
Stay
to
with your
get
own.
outside of my
Okay. What about you? What's your name?
Notice the theme here. That's why I'm fast forwarding in between this. At the intro of every woman, because they made sure to specifically pick a panel full of black women. Some of them are mixed, but nonetheless black women. And at the intro of all these women, they hey y'all. So these women are playing themselves.
I'm Kiki.
Chris, did you do this on purpose? You could say hey y'all 8 times?
Yeah. Count is, man.
That's like their theme. If it's a black woman, they say hey y'all. Black women, y'all are going out here, going out sad, signing up for Fresh and Fit for some clout. Nobody's innocent in all this. Black men are going out sad defending this. Black women are going out sad, including themselves in this fuckery. Everybody's going out sad. Nobody's absolved of accountability in here. Shout out to 7 Am with the $5 super chat. Give me a second, y'all.
I'm getting rich.
7 Am says he's an idiot. You can have freedom of speech, but there's a thing called hate speech. Said both, yeah, right? They both said they're not black. He ain't us. See, that's the thing. They can practice their trannyisms and say that they're not black. Myron's under review, so he might not be black. Fresh is he's obviously black. There's no relinquishing. Yo, I'm struggling to speak in this episode. Or denouncing your blackness because you want to sell out to the whites. You can't do that. You're still black. You're just an Uncle Ruckus. BF, shout out to you with the $7 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Fresh and Fit pretending to be outspoken and for free speech only when it comes to denigrates when it denigrates American blacks. They want to get kicked off of YouTube for the Rumble deal. Do they have a Rumble deal? Yeah, they're only outspoken for free speech when it denigrates American blacks. They want to get kicked off of YouTube for the Rumble deal. They only like free speech when it denigrates American blacks and women. And especially black women. These guys do not dabble in the dark, but they will always take advantage of stupid black women that are willing to actually come to their show. Notice I refuse to cape for the dumb bitches that come to their show. All these women with their PhDs and their masters and still retarded, doing things for clout. I ain't feeling sorry for nobody here. Everybody in this goddamn room went out sad.
All right, Kiki, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay, where are you from?
Originally from.
They took the video down because of the thing that they call free speech. That's why they took the video down. Yeah, everybody else is so damn stupid that we don't understand free speech. So they took the video down because they have free speech, right? They took the video down because it would get hit with a guideline for hate speech. That's why they took it down. Folks report that shit enough. YouTube raises their antennas and be like, wait a minute, what the hell's going on out here? These guys are campaigning for hate against a racial group. They'll take that shit down. This whole video was littered with hate for black people. Myron sitting up there saying, oh, black folks are just lazy. That's why they don't got nothing. This is an important episode, y'all. Y'all don't get it. It's not just about Fresh and Fit. It's about my support for a lot of black men on this platform because they're going out sad. So I look at this and I'm like, this goes down to this. This is the same reason why we don't support Anton or fuck with Anton Daniels. You'll support the people that you think that are cool. They're supporting you in the space. They get to a certain level, and what are they doing? They're selling out your people. Oh, it's not a big deal. Trying to intellectualize the cowardice. That's what they're doing. Low IQ dumbasses trying to intellectualize cowardice. Moxie, you don't understand. I had to take a break. I smoked like 2 blunts before this. I was annoyed. I'm like, fuck this. I'm like, this is what's going on? Goddamn sellouts.
From Washington State.
What part of Washington?
Like right on the border of like Portland, Oregon, and Vancouver, Washington.
Okay. And then, do you live here in Miami now, or are you just visiting?
No, I live here.
Okay. What do you do for work?
I'm an athlete, so I go to school. I don't work.
Okay. Full-time college student?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you do? What sport do you play?
Soccer.
Soccer?
You play soccer?
Yeah.
I got you good.
I mean, I got a full ride scholarship, so does that tell you something?
Okay. I mean,
I need to prove
I mean, you can pull up some highlights. I don't care.
Are you D1, D2, D3?
I mean, it's NAIA, but
NAI? What's that?
your like.
Oh,
I don't
V.
even know how to
Below
explain
D3.
it. Yeah.
Is D3?
No, it's like below D3, but it's like it's not in the like. Yeah, D1, D2, D3.
DL, division loser. No, I'm just kidding. I was visualizing. That's why I'm just fucking with you. All right, but NAI.
Like junior-
NAIA.
like
I
junior
never heard of that,
college?
but okay. And then
Is it like community college
or junior
No.
college?
junior college?
It's a university.
No?
No,
it's like above
it's
JUCO.
university.
Oh.
I already
Alright.
went to a JUCO.
And well,
Oh,
she goes to school for free. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then what are you? You're
Shoot.
pursuing your bachelor's degree. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
What are you majoring in?
psychology.
Okay. Useless degree, but you ain't paying for it, so who cares? And then what's your relationship status?
Single.
All right, cool. What about you?
Hey y'all.
I'm Stephanie Mason.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 20.
Where are you from?
Texas.
What part of Texas?
Dallas, Texas.
Oh shit.
South Dallas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, I knew it.
And then what's your profession, or are you a student?
I'm a student. I'm studying psychology.
Okay. Pursuing your bachelor's, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you go to school? Do you want to say? You don't have to.
FMU.
From you? Okay. And then what's...
Now, what is education doing for folks? What are they teaching in these schools? Because what is the education actually doing? You hear some of these things that they're studying in and they're mastering in, and it's just like, what is going on here? Why are these the outcomes?
What's your relationship status?
Single.
Cool. What about you?
Hey y'all.
Welcome back.
Hey y'all, Phantom in the building. I'm 33. Highest level of education. I have a master's degree. Currently doing this law school fight, song and dance. What else?
Where are you originally from?
Oh, Indianapolis, Indiana, originally.
Okay.
All right, y'all, let's get these likes up.
Who are these niggas?
We got a bunch of ghost watchers. Do we have a bunch of people from the other side watching this? Who do we got here? Let's hit that like button, y'all. Let's get the likes to at least 100. Let's get the likes to at least 100.
And then what do you do for a profession? I think we know, but I mean, it's always
So my business is
Shout out to Art to Choke Hearts with the $2 super chat. I see Myron finally got his what? Oh, it's Beijing touched up. That's how you spelled it. I never even seen that word actually written out. I just hear people clowning folks with their Beijing. Shout out to you.
I'm getting rich.
It's Phantom Intimates. I have a lingerie. I sell men's and women's lingerie. So phantomintimates.com. Make sure you check me out. I'm also a radio personality.
Okay.
Check me out on 103.5 The Beat if you're ever in Miami. Download the iHeartRadio app.
Hey.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Shout out to y'all because I got noticed because I do this. So, you know. And lastly, y'all catch me at the trap still.
All right, so she's still scripting. All right, cool. And then what's your and then high school?
E Black, you missed it. I don't fuck with half of Fatty's channel now. I do not fuck with half of Fatty's channel. I was flaming some of them that were over there because he aligns with some weirdos. He aligns with the Aaron O's of the world, the Anton Daniels underlings making excuses for this shit, acting like they're powerless dweebs. That's what you missed, E Black. Who else do I don't fuck with? I don't fuck with Granville, pussy ass nigga. He needs to eat a dick, no pause, zesty ass fruit. Who else? Bunch of cowards over there. Bunch of cowards over there.
Education masters. What do you have it in?
Hospitality and tourism management.
Okay.
And dating status?
Oh, single.
She belongs to the streets.
Okay.
What happened to the last guy?
Yeah, what happened to
my
him?
God.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm so heartbroken. I don't want to talk about it. Like, it's really fucked up. Like,
God damn it. We'll probably get into it. Wait, what was his race? Was he black?
Yes, I won't date a white guy. All the white guy can do for me is give me some
Shit. All right. This is more entertainment than I thought it would be. Me just sitting in the background. All right. What about you? What's your name?
Hey y'all.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
I knew it. Right when you looked at her, yeah.
Every intro, the hey y'all. I'm gonna skip the intros because they're gonna go through this, and every woman that goes by, they're gonna get the hey y'all. They're gonna get low key slighted, but you know they signed up for this, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I was like, all right. How old are you?
I am 33.
Wait, 33. Okay. And where are you from?
Miami.
Okay. What do you do for work?
So currently I am a owner of my own spa.
Okay.
Baby F. So
All right.
y'all can follow me Baby F Miami.
Okay.
And, period.
Okay.
Okay.
So you own a spa?
And I also am a dental assistant as well.
Okay, cool. When are you gonna quit the? Well, if you own a spa, you don't need to be a dental.
You gotta get your money. So, but I'm just like still, working up, building my clientele.
Okay.
And then,
Okay.
so
Okay.
I can,
And then you're gonna leave?
Yes.
All right. All right. Good. And then what's your highest education level completed?
So
High school. Associates.
Well, esthetician.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
dental
that counts.
school.
That counts. So
Yeah.
you got like your is it a degree or a license or?
So.
we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
So let's give it. I know, baby. I know. So let's give him some grace.
He's handling himself.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad, y'all. I skipped the part where he had his intro and said a bunch of disrespectful shit.
Really?
Yeah.
On what, SoundCloud or something?
No.
You meant it. You said it.
Listen, literally, I'm on all platforms.
Okay.
How about you diss him right now with some bars?
Let's do it. Freestyle.
Never mind, I was right for fast forwarding this part. This is cringe.
You get scared now. What we're gonna do from this point forward, we're gonna go 15 up. However, every single question that came in before, we will answer it, and we'll read it on screen. And then every chat that comes in from this point forward, we're gonna show on screen. So we got y'all. Nick, I'll turn it to you with the first question.
All right. Well, I noticed you're all black people.
And what about it?
Right.
I think you're all black.
What about it?
What's up, Nick?
First of all, Nick's never been around this many black people in his life. So let's give it. I know, baby, I know. So let's give him some grace.
He's handling himself.
Yeah.
Is the volume low on their end? Let me turn this up a little bit. It seems like it's a little bit low in comparison to mine. Let's raise this volume up.
He's Italian. It's expected.
I just want to say at the outset, okay, I don't know what you guys know about me.
Not
I
a
love
thing.
black people. Okay, I just want you to know.
Oh, yeah?
All right?
We want to know.
I'm not a racist.
Stop the cap.
It's a total fabrication.
Lie! Fucking lie!
Shout out to who do we got here? Shout out to B2 Cool with the $10 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Yo, they all corny as fuck sitting up on that panel cooning to the max. Shake my head. Big ups to you, LTTV, for sticking to your guns with the fatty situation and sticking on code, bro. Yeah, shout out to you, B2 Cool. These niggas is just pathetic. They're laughing at the dumbest jokes that are they're not even jokes. It's just, oh, you're black. It's like, what the fuck are we doing out here?
I'm big.
Shout out to E Black with the 5 gifted memberships.
I'm getting rich.
Fan. Love what you guys are doing.
Can you name 3 things that?
Nah. We need another shout out to E Black for that. Cause E Black, that was 2 birds, 1 stone with that 5 gifted memberships. Y'all, hold on, y'all. Shout out to E Black TV. Y'all go subscribe to E Black TV. E Black did something with that 5 gifted memberships. Something I've been trying to do for a long time. Before I do this joke, shout out to Christy O. Shout out to Christy O. But I've been trying to get Christy O in the members for a while, so shout out to E Black. We finally accomplished that.
Oh, yes. The camera loves your nastiness.
We got her.
You love about the black community,
right? Funny, musical.
All basic shit. All basic ass shit.
Favorite black comedian?
I got a question next.
Oh, I don't know. David Pryor.
Okay.
Okay.
I actually
Richard?
Yeah, Richard Pryor.
Yo, this dumbass motherfucker said David Pryor. Yeah, facts, E Black, we got her. Oh, shit.
I get them all mixed up though. I get them all twisted up in my head.
Corin's and Nick, they all look the same, so don't worry.
Exactly. They all look similar. They all look similar, you have to admit.
What's your favorite black historical or political figure?
Historical or political
Please
figure?
don't say
The fact that he got on a platform and said David Pryor with his chest out, you know he must have been trolling. He's just trying to fuck with black people on any level he can. David Pryor, would Dave Chappelle and Richard Pryor do the fusion dance and they're one nigga now? David, what the fuck are we doing out here?
Don't say
Easy.
Real quick. Nick, did you have a question, or did you want the ladies to ask you a question?
Well, I'll ask the question. I just wanted to put that statement out there.
Okay.
Because we've been talking about race mixing.
Okay.
That's sort of been.
That's the first time that word has been said.
On the show.
Now, when you say race mixing, it gives it a gross negative connotation where it's like you're not supposed to be mixing races. It's like, holy shit, what are you doing? It's like mixing liquors out there. Like interracial dating is much more of a friendly connotation or a friendly label.
Here.
Okay. And indirectly also, yeah. So I thought I'd ask the panel, and this is really prompted by Myron, because, I respect everybody's opinions on this, but what does the panel think about race mixing? You all have black boyfriends, stuff for the Jewish boyfriend. Why don't we start with you? What do you think about race mixing? Do you think about this? That is a fair question.
So, I actually don't necessarily call it race mixing. I call it interracial dating. After that, I don't know the exact time frame, but I believe in the 1950s, that's when interracial marriage was legalized. Please, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I can't put a correct date to it. But I don't think it's inherently bad. I don't think it's inherently something we should strive for. If it happens, it happens. I know there are certain people who their dating preferences are anti one specific race. I do not agree with that. But if someone comes from like a very Asian family and they're like, listen, for cultural reasons, for like getting along reasons, for integration reasons, it's going to be in my best interest to date another Asian person. I really do get that. But if someone is like, an Asian person who says, I'll date anyone besides Hispanics, that's, it's a little sticky.
I see.
Notice how Myron and Fresh are currently quiet because they said that they will date anybody but dark-skinned black women. They said they don't date black women, but they will make exceptions for the light-skinned ones, but they do not date dark-skinned black women. So what she said applies to these folks. Silence.
Why don't we just go around the panel? Can I say my position first?
Yes,
Is that all right?
Yes,
okay, so I know, you guys are probably curious. So here's my position, okay? It's a little, okay. You're going to be surprised about this, I think.
Me?
Yeah, so I've actually said on my show a lot, it's a little controversial in my community, but I'm actually attracted to women of all groups.
We don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Man, shut your virgin ass up, nigga. No one gives a fuck.
All races. Okay.
Okay.
See, I'm 21st century. Well, here's the controversy. But I would never date someone from outside my race.
I agree.
Okay.
But here's why. So I'm Catholic. You know, my body count 0. I want to have sex with my wife, just my wife. And I only want to have sex outside my race.
I agree.
Okay.
But here's why. So I'm Catholic. You know, my body count 0. I want to have sex with my wife, just my wife. And I only want to have sex to have kids. And I want kids that are from the same group as me.
Now, I don't know what y'all think that I'm hitting the fail tone and the wrong buzzer for. This nigga said that he only wants to have sex with his wives for procreation. Only for procreation. Virgin says he wants to have a wife. He wants to find a virgin wife that only wants to have sex for procreation. This loser-ass incel virgin dweeb is who y'all are platforming, given the access to say nigga, but he's saying it with a hard ER. This is your king? This is the alt-right king? This is the racist person that everybody wants to follow and put him on a pedestal? This dweeb?
I want white kids. So naturally, it follows if I want to have a wife and I want to have white kids, then I shouldn't date someone outside my race because I'm not going to marry him.
Correct.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. If he wants to marry somebody inside of his race because he wants white kids, it is what it is. It's all the other shit. It's when you start telling other folks, oh, they're a disgrace for dating outside of their race and all that bullshit that he tries to spread. He likes to try to flower it up and act like it's something all pleasant. It ain't, nigga. You're a racist and we know it.
That's my position.
Yeah.
But we'll go around. What do you guys think about that? What are your thoughts on it in general? What about you? So you're I'm sorry. Someone had a phone.
I was gonna say, if that's the way you think, Baby Blue, then keep that in your vicinity, because you know.
But he has a right to not.
I agree. Because dating outside my race makes me feel weird. I've done it just to make sure that, you know.
What was his race?
He a Nicaragua. He still had color. You feel me? He was Hispanic. But at the same time, he still wasn't a black man. You get what I'm saying? So I agree with you. Okay. You get what I'm saying? Like, love y'all, but I ain't gonna date you, baby. You get what I'm saying? And I get that. Because I want black babies. So if I want black babies and I want the black race to continue, I'm going to, you know, lay down.
It's like he's trying to push his racial agenda. We're doing the same by not.
Yeah. I mean,
because it was cute how his message had a racial undertone and yours didn't.
No,
when you guys said the exact same thing.
No, the only reason why mine didn't have a racial undertone is because I'm black and he's white, and people like.
No, not necessarily, because you called it interracial dating and he called it race mixing.
Yeah.
That is just.
Oh no, I was talking about his example. Like he is.
It's like folks wanted to miss that. Yeah, the name the title that you put on it creates the connotation. You say race mixing, it's just like, what the fuck are we doing out here? Interracial dating, that's the norm. We know that as a social norm. That's what we call it. Race mixing, they're being disingenuous and acting like it's not the same. I mean, it's not different.
White guy who wants to date white women to have like white cultural standards, where my example was an Asian person dating.
But there's nothing wrong with their examples. Both of their examples, there's nothing wrong with that. This is actually a non-factor, non-issue. Let's fast forward a little bit. Let's get into some of the juicy shit they say here, if they even say anything. Listen, I was watching this live for I thought this was going to be intense. I watched this live for the first 20 minutes. It was ass, so I had to stop, because the problem with Fresh and Fit is the same goddamn show every night. I don't know what they do with the daytime shows and the different interviews they have, the Money Mondays or whatever the fuck they be doing over there. I used to be an agent in their Discord. I was just low-key in their Discord, snooping around, waiting for these bitch-ass niggas to get caught slipping. But after this, I'm like, I can't even be an agent in that Discord anymore. Fuck their Discord. Fuck what they doing.
An Asian person to have Asian cultural standards. It's the same exact thing, besides white and Asian, obviously. But coming from a black woman, I feel like, especially in the society where very democratic, very libertarian people are supposed to be quote unquote the correct people, they would like accept me saying it before him just because it's me. Which
But again, it's about the undertone and how you guys said it. Like I said, you have the exact same message, but just.
All right, we don't really care about this. Let's go on to some other shit. This is a 4-hour show full of, so let's get into it.
So just because you're sitting here going, oh, well, I'm different. I like y'all. I'm just not gonna date y'all.
Both people didn't mention anything about superior. Even I did not mention anything about.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just talking about culturally and historically. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying nobody said that.
Oh, so like societally now.
Wait, they're still talking about this?
One of the first things I would do would find a way to fund education publicly that does not disadvantage low socioeconomic status households, because unfortunately right now a lot of Black and Hispanic people are living in low socioeconomic status, and when we have education that is funded by the neighborhood, you're putting people at a disadvantage.
We tried it already with the Black Panthers, and what happened with them? They became public enemy number one. FBI is number one because they weren't pushing a Black family. They weren't pushing cultural within our culture, our community, education, food programs, medical, like. When Black people become too powerful, we become a threat.
We become a threat.
I understand the sentiment, I really do, but I don't necessarily believe in like monetary. Every Black person just gets $10,000.
No,
like that wouldn't help. But if we found a way to really infiltrate our youth with the power of education, I feel like that would be a very great first.
Notice how Fresh and Fit, they don't usually speak about strictly Black issues. They talk about they talk about dating. So they talk about dating in the Western world and more red pill type topics. They brought a panel full of Black women with a racist Nick Fuentes, and all they're doing is speaking about Black issues. These guys are really doing that alt-right grift. You can see it. It's quite clear.
First step. A very great first step, but that's not what's happening right now. And I feel like every political season, we all talk about who can use what bathroom. We talk about, can a woman have the right to whatever, but we never talk about like public education.
Well, public education is quite on the forefront right now.
Is it? Okay.
Absolutely.
Maybe. Okay.
What's the Supreme Court just did and what's happening in Ron DeSantis'
that's
state
not
of
K
Florida?
through 12 though. I want to get into the K through 12 because that is what is setting the foundation.
But you live in Florida, baby. You don't know what Ron DeSantis is doing down here?
That's at the college level and the graduate level.
No, I mean like the younger generation.
Okay, so let's get this clear for everybody. Because everybody's debating this ethnicity shit in the fucking chat right now. I'm just seeing this. Someone says Sudanese. Well, Sudanese is a nationality, and ethnicity is diverse in Sudan. There's Blacks and Arabs. I was trying to correct some of the shit you were saying, but I didn't correct it fully. But nonetheless, Black and Arabs in Sudan. Yes, there is Black and Arabs in Sudan. South Sudan is largely comprised of Blacks, but Sudan, Blacks and Arabs. Myron purports to be a Black Arab. That's what he purports to be.
What is it called? Race theory? Critical?
Yeah.
Let me jump in here. Let me throw a little wrench into the conversation. Yeah, everybody's always talking about like education and stuff, and they say, well, the reason that the Blacks and Hispanics aren't performing so well is because the schools aren't funded, the schools aren't good.
There's not one reason, I don't think.
I think there is. And the reason is that when you look at IQ tests, Blacks score one full standard deviation lower than whites on average on IQ tests.
But we're not even getting the same education.
That's facts, Moxie, when it's convenient for him. I don't trust anything Myron says. Myron came out as Myron Games. His name is, what's his name, Amru Fuddle or something? His name's Amru Fuddle. His whole shit was a lie, so it's like, come on, man. We don't know what to believe from this guy.
IQ doesn't have anything to do with education. IQ's innate.
Do you think that it is like, are you talking about like a nature versus nurture argument here?
Yeah, I'm saying.
And it's like phonetically, we would say he's Black, but some people would say no. And this is where the disconnect comes between like Canadians and Americans. Y'all say Black and brown, and when y'all say Black and brown and group them together, y'all really talking about Hispanics or like Mexicans as browns. When we say Black and brown, we're not talking about brown as in Mexican, Hispanic. Brown means something completely different in Toronto. Brown is like Indian, Pakistani, if you're from Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, the Middle East, that's brown in Toronto. So a lot of people, he would be brown. They wouldn't call him Black. But it's different from the way people like factor off and make these different labels for race, and it's different. It's differing around the world. So I don't know, man. I honestly don't give a shit. All I know is he's a coon. Fresh is a coon. They're both doing the conservative grift. They don't stand on shit. They're always trying to denigrate black people. Their whole shit was coming off of just disrespecting and denigrating the black community. And they came up off of that. That's why we got to watch how everybody responds to this and reacts to this. Because if they're not standing on anything, you know those people are next. They're going to see the opportunity in the bag to do the conservative grift and shit on black folks to make their money. And when they align with folks that do that, you got to be looking at them funny in the light. Like, what are you really doing out here?
It's genetic.
So you believe that black people are inherently dumber?
I'm saying on average,
So
blacks
the fact
have a
that we
full
are
standard
oppressed and
deviation
being put
lower
in-
IQ.
So you think it has nothing to do with the way that
You hearing this? You hearing the racist rhetoric that he allows to be espoused on his platform? This guy just chest out said this.
Genetic.
So you believe that black
Doesn't have anything to do with education. IQ's innate.
Do you think that it is like
Damn.
are you talking about like a nature versus nurture argument here?
Yeah, I'm saying it's genetic.
So you believe that black people are inherently dumber?
I'm saying on average,
So
blacks
the fact
have a
that we
full
are
standard
oppressed and
deviation
being put
lower
in-
IQ.
So you think it has nothing to do with the way that
And
we
being
don't
redlined
have the
and
capacity
being
of
put
education, or
in
maybe our
stressful
homes might be
situations.
a little-
IQ is innate. It's not about education. But he just sat there on his panel with no reference to anything and just said black people are dumber than the rest. They are lower IQ. Their base level intelligence will be lower regardless of education. That's what he just sat up on his panel. Did he reference any stats, studies, anything to substantiate his claim? No, or did he? Let's see.
Here's why.
But you don't think that us being
that's
put
a
in,
wild argument.
put in,
It happens to be
in
true,
what they
though.
call ghetto, and do you understand? Do you understand what it is to live a black life? No, you don't, right?
white.
Okay, right. So
We don't care.
Let me tell you.
I don't know why she's going there with it. I would just like to ask him to provide a reference to what the hell he's saying to substantiate his claims. You can't just say things on air like this and in front of the a group this big, in front of this. Look at this, man. The nigga looks depressed. What's wrong with this dumbass nigga? It's like you're signing up for your demise. You're being led by a bunch of idiots, like a bunch of idiots. Fresh is not a leader at all. Fresh is going on with whatever Myron says. Myron is being led by Pearl. He's following the Pearl playbook. This is what I'm saying. Like, look at this dumbass. This nigga's just rethinking his life in this moment. He's like, what the fuck am I doing here? There must be an alternative. There must be another way. Too late, nigga. You sold out.
exactly.
Italian.
So no.
But I like
But
black
listen,
people.
but listen. I didn't say that has nothing to do with you liking me or disliking me, love. But when I'm put into when I'm redlined, when I can't go into certain communities, when my community doesn't have what your community has, and I have to go to your community to get what I need. I don't even have what I need in my community. What do you think? What do you think that is? Like, what are the response? These are our responses to.
You say they look bored? They've done this so many times, and it's the same show all over and over and over again with the same questions in the same format and the same ditzy broads. It's the same shit. So Fresh seen this 10,000 times, and he's just sitting there bored as fuck, just grifting it away.
The conditions. Do you understand?
You know
that?
what I wanna-
yes, I'm glad you brought that up.
Ladies, let him respond to her situation, and then we can go ahead and let you guys chip in. And then we'll probably have to go Rumble sooner than I thought.
Yeah.
But this is amazing. Sorry, go ahead, Nick.
So here's the thing. You know, what you're talking about when you say that, blacks don't have access to resources, that's, of course, because these neighborhoods are impoverished. They already don't have wealth. They already have these problems. I would throw something else into the mix and say, let's look at something like a food desert. That's a big complaint, is that they're not able to access fresh food in these neighborhoods. Well, Walmart just left Chicago. I'm from the suburbs of Chicago. Walmart just pulled out. Why did Walmart pull out? Is it because of redlining and white racism? Or did Walmart pull out because people kept stealing? They pulled out because people kept stealing.
That argument is a non sequitur, though.
Why is it non sequitur?
It's a non sequitur because
Y'all still
talking
the
about
most.
food deserts and talking about food deserts and trying to equate that to why you inherently believe that Black and Hispanic people are genetically and inherently less intelligent, it's a non sequitur to talk about why Walmart is no longer in Chicago.
Here's the
I want to
correlation.
touch on that too. Go ahead.
Okay, well, here's the point: is that whenever there's a conversation about because fundamentally the conversation's about the disparity.
All right, see, these people are dumbasses. I'm like, okay, so you're really gonna deviate into this point. She said it. She said this has nothing to do with something. He's gonna try to explain himself, but you're not gonna substantiate your claim. So all this other rhetoric, what's the point of it? You're just gonna point. He's gonna try to cherry pick and pinpoint places where he can be like, oh, black people are failing here. This is the worst of the blacks in America here. I'm like, what does this have to do with your claim that black people are inherently lower IQ than everybody else? Let's entertain this. Let's see if he substantiates it.
Disparity between blacks and whites, which is persistent in wealth, unemployment, income, all these things. And really, there's two explanations. And one is circumstance, historical disadvantage, these kinds of things, which you might call nurture, so-called. I mean, for lack of a better word. The other argument is that blacks and whites are different, and they're genetically different, and these behaviors that they exhibit are the result of genetics. And so if black people have an average IQ of 85 in America compared to whites of 100, it doesn't mean that there are no black people with an IQ over 100, obviously. But it does mean that on average there are fewer of them. And if that's the case, this has real-world implications. There's going to be a reason why the black schools perform worse than the white schools. And it's got nothing to do with the school, the funding, the public policy, and it's got everything to do with their innate faculties in the beginning.
Hold on, wait.
Your claims,
Because I need to hear.
I want to go in on these.
As a black woman who is in education, this is something that is very important to me. And I mean, we can talk all day long about the nature versus nurture debate. I do believe a lot of the struggles that the black community is facing right now has to deal with nurture over nature. If we had the same resources like the K through 12 education and the strong family unit, I don't see why there is any genetic, like we have coded the human genome. I feel like if there was any genetic implication as to why blacks and Hispanics are performing less, maybe the scientists who coded the human genome would have come out with that information already, but I don't think that they have.
Well, the brain accounts for 50% of the human genome. And when you look at, black people and white people, they have all kinds of different characteristics, different skin color, different gestation period, all kinds of different things.
Gestation period, by how many days?
I don't know the exact number of days, but if you look at it,
okay,
it tracks. Asians have, I think it's the highest, and then it's whites, Hispanics, and then blacks.
But everything, how is that following the argument that we're
here's the argument
here? Okay.
So if we agree that there are already differences that we can see, if there's physical differences, then it would follow if the brain is 50% of the human genome, it would be ridiculous to suggest that whites and blacks and Hispanics and Asians all have the same brains.
Intelligence isn't necessarily phenotypic, though.
100% is. What is intelligence? There's a stronger correlation that intelligence is genetic than so many other things. It's a heritable trait. That's not even disputed.
So let's stop there. Because
yeah.
Man, sit your dumb ass down.
We're gonna stop there because this idiot just rambled on and said a bunch of nonsensical racist shit. He went on and said a bunch of shit that is akin to the eugenics argument. This is terrible. He didn't substantiate things. He just, well, y'all must be dumb. In other words.
He's talking about how education is more. No, because if we're talking about how education is more genetic, meaning passed down some kind of way, that's in with African Americans being lower than whites, it's only because we.
Why even debate the point when he built the argument on a dusty fallacy? That's what folks do. Let me just debate this dumbass argument when he didn't substantiate his claims. He just said a bunch of dumbassness. You're just espousing rhetoric with nothing to substantiate your claims. You're just saying things that may be inflammatory, disrespectful, and deemed racist. And people listen to this and buy into this shit. Y'all really need to
stop it. Get some help.
Shout out to B2 Cool with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Yo, this got me heated. How they just sit there and let them spew that bullshit and just taking it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. They're not well equipped enough to be like, wait a minute, sir, that's some bullshit. You're not going to substantiate this. You're just going to talk around the point, give us some examples that have nothing to do with the point, and not substantiate your claim by saying black people are inherently stupid.
We were not given education for so long.
That's not true, though.
Right.
That is very true.
It's not because when y'all got us from Africa, you got the greats, you got the scientists, you got the
E-Black, I didn't actually download this. This is online on Rumble right now. So that's why I'm trying to play as much through as possible, because I don't know if they're going to take it down from Rumble. So this is going to be a very long stream playing through this garbage, but let's get it.
alchemists. You got all the greats. What y'all thought was great. What y'all thought were what. Right. And when I say y'all, I mean your ancestors. You feel me? So what y'all thought was great. Y'all scooped us up. Y'all got the greats, right? And then y'all shipped up exactly. Right. And so it's genetic. Everything you got is from us. White come from black. Right. If you don't know, I'm just saying, y'all just like something that God created because he has a sense of humor. So,
but that's the most hateful statement that's been said so far.
And it's okay. It's okay if you feel that way. But when you know yourself and you know your history, we can have this conversation all day. And like I said, I agree with you. I think interracial was the worst thing that we could have ever done.
That's insane.
It messed us up.
I say that all the time.
It messed us up.
The world went to shit when segregation ended.
It's okay.
I don't care what nobody got to say.
So, all right,
so you think it's the worst thing? You agree with her?
I agree with her.
Okay, and then you disagree.
We are all children of God. That is insane. That's an insane thing to say, that we should all be separated.
Yes.
Like, what was segregation?
Wow.
What was what? Come on.
Something that was brought to us.
But look how strong our community was when
our innate nature isn't. Our innate nature. We do not. Our innate nature is war. Our innate nature.
All I know is these folks really need an anthropology class. That's what they need. Like, this is just so bad.
I'm sorry.
Let her finish her point. You made your statement that you think interracial was the worst thing. She agreed. Let her make her point to why she.
Well, we know why she did that.
I'm sorry.
Well, but I want her to be able to say. Yeah, she has her guy. But why? So you said we're all children of God, and finish your thing, and then I'll.
Well, I didn't finish mine, so I want to go next.
I mean, even in the Bible, it calls us to look at one another as brother and sisters. I don't think that the Lord would have wanted for there to be such division amongst races, or to be like ridiculing, or to think higher of one race or lower of one race in metrics of intelligence, or I know you didn't say this, but worth, or like deserving of kindness and love and so on and so forth. I just can't agree with that.
I don't think that, because
all right, so this is if y'all are gonna call in, the call-in link is in the description. Cameras on only in this call-in link. If you want cameras off, get some bars off, jump in the Discord. If you're in the Discord and you want to get some bars off real quick, off camera, cool, Discord. But if you're gonna hit this call-in link, it's cameras on only, folks. Let's get it.
People wanted, I mean, mind you, white people were just like mean and racist, right? That is a given fact.
No,
however, just because I believe that people should stay within their own cultures, that's not necessarily a negative thing. Look how strong the African American community was when we were separates. Look how far the Black dollar was when we were separates. Now what we're doing is we're fighting against people like you and like Nick here, my buddy, because we want to sit at the table. But when we didn't have to do.
Y'all need to stop having conversations with people about your community that have no good interest in your community. You're sitting next to Nick Fuentes, racist man, don't give a fuck about your community. You're sitting, and you're at the show of Fresh and Fit. Two goddamn sellouts. They don't claim to be black, or they do not identify with any of the black issues or black plights. Myron got on this panel and said black people are lazy and that's why they're dusty in America. Do not have these conversations with these folks. That's why I'm separating myself from some of these folks on these panels right now, because I know that they don't stand on code. They don't stand on principle. They ain't really down for the folks. They just trying to get their opinions heard. They're trying to get some fucking attention, and they're trying to make a bag. So fuck them niggas. It is what it is, man. Too much of this shit. It's like, what are we ultimately really doing? We have all the power of influence in the media, and we're shitting it away. We are shitting it away. Everybody wants to be a victim and weak. Oh, we have no power. Black men, we're this and that. So when the ladies and the women get on these panels and they get on social media shitting on black men, saying black men are going outside, black men are down and out, and black men are X, Y, and Z, it's because we go along and we support a bunch of black men on these panels and on these platforms that are willing to sell us out instantly. So what we got to do is take the power back and stop supporting these frauds. That's what I'm doing. I don't know about y'all, man. I ain't here to save the world. I learned a long time ago that you can't help out people that will not help themselves. I learned a long time ago, I will not fight for people and stand up for people that will not stand up for themselves. They want to be victims. They want to be weak. Do that over there.
Competition with a black person.
However,
I have to tell you that whenever a black student comes to me and they want me specifically to mentor them in a education sense, like I will take them under my wing, and I do that for black and Hispanic people more than I do that for white people because.
And you showing that favor? Why?
Because I want to see our community strengthen, but I would never impose my viewpoints on dating, saying, "Oh, hey, I'm going to help you with this."
If you want to see your community thrive and flourish, then get out of spaces like this and don't go outside, because you will always, forever be synonymous with this moment, with Nick Fuentes getting on here and saying nigga, and the whole panel of y'all that were defending it initially, all cheering him on. So I don't want to hear that from none of these folks. When I hear folks say this and then they participate in it, all I hear is this.
Crying to me and I'm not having that.
That equation, but also when you're like successful, make sure you only date within your race.
I'm not gonna do that.
I
wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do that.
Okay, that's what I was
Just so you
thinking.
get notice, there's other girls here have been kind of silent.
Yeah.
Okay, how many of you agree with race mixing? I know she does. One, well, y'all obviously do. I was gonna ask you guys. Do you guys have white parents?
Yeah, I was like, my mom is white, so there's no way I couldn't. like,
Mom is white, dad is black.
We wouldn't be here without.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna.
That's fine. That's fine. So you guys agree with race mixing? You do too, or you mix as well?
Yes, I am Haitian, but I'm also Dominican and Venezuelan.
Okay. You can make the argument that the Dominicans are African Americans, so Afro
But
Americans.
Venezuelans are
Or
not.
black, excuse me. What about you? What do you think?
I'm American, but I think.
Do you believe in race mixing, like a white dude getting a white black chick, or vice versa? You do?
I
You agree
believe
with
in
it?
that.
Okay,
Even
so
my best
you two
friend.
think, hey, keep it in the.
I mean, it's just not. I mean,
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. I just want to kind of get an idea. So all the
I'm
girls
not saying
here.
that it's a negative thing, though. I'm definitely not saying that it's a negative thing.
Yeah.
I just have my preference, and I believe in letting people have their preference and exercising that.
I agree with that.
Right.
100%. I agree with that.
Okay, so it looks to me like all of you are for race mixing. Then you just only two of you don't practice it.
Right. Do what you want to do. That's your business.
Do you date white guys? White guys outside of the black race?
No, you don't.
I mean,
Yes, yeah.
you know,
facts.
I can't say
Yes,
yes
you don't.
because it's a tight
It doesn't matter. You're mixed.
thing. I feel.
What about you? Do you date outside of your race? No.
I dated white guys.
It's like if you're mixed, you can talk about not for race mixing and blah blah. You can't not be. You're mixed already. You're gonna mix something up anyway. Like you're already a mixed race. You cannot not be for it. Ain't this guy have man? This doesn't make any sense for some of these folks.
Yeah, I have too, but it's just a
money,
tight
Kat.
thing.
Of course, definitely for money.
Do you date outside of your race? I mean, black people.
I have in the past, but I don't anymore.
Your preference is black. Okay.
Yeah.
So what about you? Do you date outside of your race? You do. Okay. So realistically speaking, all of you are for race mixing, but only two of you date outside of your race. It seems to me. Okay. All right. Just you got the numbers here.
Yeah, well, it seems like sort of a
Just so you kind of know. Yeah. Just so you
attitude
know.
towards it.
Yeah. Just so you know.
A liberal attitude, like politically liberal.
No, liberal like open.
No, I'm saying you're saying you can be biracial and just prefer one. Yeah, that's great, but I'm saying you're ultimately gonna be for race mixing because you're not just one. So if you're a mixed girl that only likes black guys, guess what? You're still race mixing because you're not fully black. You're mixed.
More like liberal-minded. But to get to your point, because I think it's an important distinction. You know, you said that.
When I say you're not fully black, it sounds horrible. I'm just saying you're mixed. There's something else in there.
God would want to see us as unequal in terms of IQ or worth. But that is the distinction, because we can say that people are unequal qualitatively without saying that they're unequal before God, which is my position. Because, and we talked about this on the earlier show, when you look at individuals, no two individuals are equal. You know, if I stand...
Yet why do y'all still let him talk? He still hasn't substantiated his claim that black people are inferior in the realm of IQ, but y'all still let him just go on with his rhetoric. Like, sir, substantiate your claim. Sir, back out a reference. What are you doing? Like, come on, man.
Next to Myron, he's taller than me.
Yeah.
You know, and if I stand next to somebody else, we're going to be unequal. And I think groups are unequal too. I think that inequality is just a state of nature. I don't think you find equality in nature. The important thing is, though, and it's like you said, we have to love each other. The equality we bring to the table is that everyone has a soul. Everybody is equal before God. And I agree with you. People should be treated with care and kindness and that sort of thing. But that being said, and this is why it's important to be specific. When I look at other people, I think it's important to treat them with dignity, respect, love, that sort of thing.
I agree.
At the same time, that's totally different from saying, like, the government is racist or the government shouldn't be racist or things like this. Here's what I mean. The government has to take into account that people are different.
Yeah.
You know, so for example, like when we have this mass immigration into the United States, the people that are coming here are different from the people that are here. You know, they have a different ancestry, different culture, different background. They speak a different language. So look at those people and say, well, you know, we got to treat these people exactly the same in the spirit of equality. Well, they're not equal. They're not the same.
But why
I don't know
not?
if I ever necessarily
Why not,
made
though?
the argument of equality. I don't know if I said that because I have my own views about equality. I think that equity is much more efficient for society, for even relationships and families. But I think what I'm getting tripped up with and the sticking point that I'm having with your arguments is when you're saying like one specific race is inherently lower intelligence, that opens the door for
On average,
so
though.
many.
On average.
And
Well,
you
they're
believe
stratified.
but you believe it's like a genetic component.
Do you hear this idiot? Myron in the back, on average. So he just believes these dumbass claims without him citing his sources at all. CJOJ said, what's the point of these supposed IQ differences? How is this useful? He is just trying to shit on black folks. That's what he is. He's a racist person that's a white supremacist that think that white people are above everybody and they're genetically superior. So this is why black people are genetically inferior, because their IQs are lower, just because some idiot in an orange hoodie on a platform says it. So we got to buy it and we got to feed into it. And then Myron's going to espouse this rhetoric to his 1.5 million subscribers. They're all going to eat it up. They're going to only read $50 and up super chats. And these guys are going to fling them right, left, and center, bashing the women on the platform because they signed up for it because they're that thirsty for clout. This is an embarrassment at this point. I don't want to hear anything from anybody that goes to this show. You know what you signed up for.
That opens the door for so many people who maybe are not a part of that racial group to disrespect the racial group that you believe is genetically lower.
Yeah, he's also disrespecting Hispanics. Meanwhile, he is... What is Nick Fuentes? Where is he from?
Intelligence.
It's a sensitive subject.
And I really do believe in the goodness of you as a person, just the way that you carry yourself and the way that you speak. But I'm assuming you're probably a guy that is like very polarizing and has millions of followers and viewers. There's probably at least a handful of people, or like a percentage worth of a handful of people who take what you are saying and use it in a very, very, very ugly way.
Yeah, you're right about that. And
sorry, followers and viewers on what? Wasn't he canceled from everything? Where does he have his followers and viewers on? On Twitter? On a platform that's not monetized or something? Like, what is this nigga really doing right now?
You know, I'm bombastic about it, but in truth, it's not just about putting black people down. And I talk about that a lot because I don't think that black people should be put down. In fact, I think that a lot of their grievances are legitimate. The problem is, though, what you find is it gets mixed up with rhetoric like what you said, where you said God made white people to laugh as a joke. Like, and I'm not trying to put you down for saying that, but I mean, all I'm trying to say is the same could be said really about any kind of statement. Like, we can listen to grievances, historical or otherwise, that people have.
Now, what she said was racist. But that's why when there was the whole Pearly thing saga, I stayed away from hitting back with racist rhetoric or racial rhetoric when it came to Pearl. A lot of folks did, but I wasn't down for that either, because you're calling people out. You're not joining them with their dusty behavior.
By the same token, people could take an historical grievance and say, well, we have a right to be racist against white people because it's a bad joke that God made them. In the same way that, you know, you could take something like I said and twist it.
The whole reverse racism term is disrespectful. To think that you're black, you can't be racist, is holding an inferiority complex within oneself. All that shit is ridiculous. So understand that this is a two-way road.
As far as the IQ goes, though, it's stratified. Asians have the highest, then whites, Hispanics, blacks in terms of average. The only reason I say that is...
The only reason why you say that is because you cap.
Stop the cap.
It's a total fabrication.
Let's see if he cites a source. Only reason why he says this. Let's hear it.
If we want to help everybody, we have to kind of meet them where they are.
Yeah.
And it's like, if that's the problem, then throwing more money at it's not going to fix it.
Exactly, and I agree with that.
Okay, so since we're on it, okay, real quick.
I want to hear.
So that's the problem with black folks. They're inherently stupid. You can't waste any more of the government's money at them. Don't throw any more money at them. They're a lost cause. They're inherently the dumbest.
From Globe, though,
What are your thoughts on it? Because you didn't talk at all on your thoughts as well. So these two right here.
On what?
For example, he just said, on the scale, black people are lower IQ. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know.
This is the worst show of all time. This is literally the worst show of all time. He just said black people have the lowest IQ. What are your thoughts on that? How about you ask him to substantiate his claims or provide a reference, cite a source or something? You can't just say that, and okay, we're all going to discuss this dumbass point. We're all going to give our thoughts on this dumbass point that's not even true. This eugenics ass point. We're going to sit around and just intellectualize why we're all stupid.
Stop it. Get some help.
I just like don't agree with a lot of what he's saying. He said some stuff earlier about how apparently everybody's brains are different, which I don't know how that's like scientifically possible that a black person's brain is just like different than a white person's. I don't know.
I think he was hypothetically speaking.
No, he was serious.
No, he's like
Nick, you want
trying
to
to say
explain
like
that?
that was like a fact.
Well, I mean that, you know, there's this idea we talk about race and we say, well, like skin color doesn't matter. I don't think that race is just skin color. I think that what we call it is human biodiversity, meaning there's biological diversity within the human population. So, you know, white and black and Hispanic and Asian people are distinct categories of people.
Minority.
Well, people. Because minority is, I mean, in America, whites are going to be in the minority in a decade. You know?
Not if you have anything to say about it.
You're right. You're right about that.
I'm trying to make light. This is an intense conversation.
You hear this? White people who sit in the middle of the 60% of population in America are going to be the minority in America in the next decade.
Stop the cap.
These alt-right talking points are disgusting. All these talking points is to scare white people into, oh, we need to reproduce, we need more of us. It's like this race war bullshit. They're baiting people with fabricated, like, where are the stats for this? Where are the charts showing that this is where it's heading? Hold on, y'all. We got a $2 or a $3 super chat from BF. Shout out to you.
I'm getting rich.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, fresh Mr. Freemason? What are your thoughts, fresh Mr. Freemason? What? Oh, you're asking what are Fresh's thoughts? I don't think Fresh has any thoughts. I don't think Fresh is capable of thinking singularly. I think Fresh is more like a robot. Fresh is like Pearl. Fresh and Pearl are like the same thing. Oh, let me get these red pill talking points set up. Let me memorize these and let me just spit them out like a computer. That's what he does. His speaking is very formulaic too, like it's a written speech. But you know, it is what it is.
Conversation I'm
It's
trying
cool.
to bring light.
Well, hold on. So Did that answer your question? No, she wanted to know where how the brains are different based on race. That's what
here's the thing: I'm just like trying to see where you got all this information, because like that just doesn't make sense.
Our innate nature is warm. We are good people. Like,
well, ladies, do you know what he? Do you guys know what he specifically said?
Yeah.
Do you remember what he specifically said?
Yeah, he said that like black people, white people, Asians, whatever, they all got different brains. How do we have different brains?
No. What he said is that, well, I mean, that's a component of it, but what the real bottom line is that he's saying that each race has different.
Sorry, y'all. It seems to me that some people do not understand what racism is or what it is to be racist. To be racist, you are characterized by or showing prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. They say typically one that is minority or marginalized, but that's typically. Doesn't mean absolutely, indefinitely, only. It means typically one that's minority or marginalized. And it says characterized or by showing discrimination or antagonism. So understand what being racist is. All this systemic racism as a definition for being racist is ridiculous. I don't know who educated some of y'all folks. Shout out to Be Too Cool with the $5 super chat. Fresh just sitting there like a coon on hind legs, looking foolish, not once thinking, yo, wait a minute, I'm a black man. Of course not, because Fresh is a goddamn idiot. Shout out to you, Be Too Cool with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Shout out to CJOJ with the $5 Canadian super chat. It's crazy that people got worried about Destiny and Pearl platforming Fuentes, but it's two black men that have done it the best. Yikes, that is true. Shout out to you for the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
They've been following the Pearl playbook. They went when Myron did that whole KKK helmet bullshit, trying his hardest to be racist and try to antagonize black people. It kind of fell short. He didn't go viral. He didn't get the outrage he wanted. So now he's back doubling down with Fuentes. He's trying to get that viral shit that Pearl's doing. It's just follow the leader with these folks in the red pill space. He's seen Andrew Tate got enough outrage to blow him up. Pearl got enough outrage to blow her up. Now they just following suit. This ain't the type of fame that you want. Digital footprint is very important in these folks going outside. When this little wave dies out and the folks in the red pill grift actually wake up, or the fans that are following this shit wake up a little bit because their results are dusty, they still ain't getting no bitches, they ain't getting no money, they fat as hell, they ain't spending no time in the gym. When they realize that these guys are just leading them astray and stealing all their money, and they don't go quite mainstream because they're gonna get their Negro wake up call. When they realize that all these attempts to reach for mainstream has come up short, and they're looking at everybody else going mainstream, and then they're still dusting it up on this platform getting canceled, they're gonna look up into the sky like
Hold up! What is this shit?
and then they forget the color of their skin phonetically. I don't care what the hell this nigga wants to claim what he is, if he's trying to not be black, Myron. But when you look at these niggas, they black. They're gonna get their nigger wake up call. They don't want these folks. They want the Anton Daniels of the world and the what's that guy's name? The guy that says beta. The guys that they can control and put on national television that haven't stunk it up so much with these clout moves. Because the things that they've done, they don't want to put these guys on network television. They want the coons that they can put in suits like Anton Daniels and what's that next nigga's name? Jesse Lee Peterson. They want those folks. They slap them on Dr. Phil and say, yeah, say this alt-right bullshit. Go outside for the black race. They want those folks. So it's not going to work for you, buddy. It's not going to work for you. Let's get back into this.
IQ level.
Right, but they don't have a problem. They don't have a problem with that, Myron. They don't have a problem with that. They have a problem with the fact that he thinks that black people's brains are different than a white person's brain. They understand the hierarchy, and I understand that too. I understand how it is
genetically different.
But to sit here and say, "Oh, I know a black brain is different than a white brain."
How?
I mean, one's darker.
Because y'all experimented on us. Because y'all experimented on us.
Here's what I mean by that.
Yeah, let him please explain. Go ahead, Nick, because I don't want to. I think I know what you mean, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. Go ahead.
So we have different skin colors. That's a genetic difference.
Okay.
And black people look different than white people. Not even just their skin color. Like if a black person turned white all of a sudden, Like you could still,
my lips will go away.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I could distinguish that you have. I mean, you look black. Like your face looks black. My face looks
I look
white.
like royalty, baby. Let's go.
Sure.
Did this girl really say that? If she turned white, her lips will go away? What in the
And I don't know. So sensitive.
Let's let him finish his point so that she can understand where he's going with the brain thing.
So the point is like, people say race is just we're all the same, but just in different colors. And I'm saying that we're different in other ways too. We're genetically different in other ways. Our bone structure's different. Our faces are different. Our skin color's different. And then the point is to say, when we talk about IQ, people say, well, how could black people or white people or Asian people have a different average IQ? Well, their brains are probably genetically different, just like their skin color, just like their bones, just like other things. And so it's to say it would be ridiculous to suggest that every person in the world would have the same average IQ. Why would that make sense?
Right.
We're not talking about IQ. We're talking about
this is all his
brain.
This is his opinion though. Because
understand.
keyword was probably.
Yeah.
There was no factual in that.
How are bones
Did that answer the question or no?
No, because he's like,
our
going
bones are
around the
different.
question.
Has anybody in the chat done an IQ test? If you have done an IQ test, put your IQ in the chat if you're bold and brave. I want to do a quick test.
And he's saying IQ. I'm not talking about IQ. I'm talking about the physical brain that we all have and we're born with.
He did mention that we're all differently made. So for
I
that, he's
understand
just
that,
saying
but like that doesn't mean our brains are different. Like IQ wise, that's like shit you learn throughout life. Like you know what I mean?
Not necessarily.
So you're just like born with a low IQ. Is that what you're saying?
Where
No.
He told you the answer, but I guess you're not like taking it for what it is.
Okay.
But real quick, thoughts on this, real quick. You didn't say anything either.
I'm smart, so.
Hold on. So you
IQ good.
I think. Okay. Let me distill what he was saying.
Okay.
I think what he said is very simple. He said, based on race, people have different features, different looks, different skin tones, hell, even different muscle fibers. African American.
Now, notice how I asked, and I don't even think. Oh, one person put their IQ, and I don't even know if that's his real IQ. Most people have no idea what they're talking about in this subject when it comes to IQ. Most people have not done IQ tests or don't know the average IQ for anything. So a lot of these questions are going to just go over people's heads, and they're going to be like, what are the right questions to ask in this scenario? But it's quite simple. You should just ask the guy to substantiate his claims before you even debate anything. Shout out to CJOJ with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
CJOJ says, very bad look. Given the recent Supreme Court ruling on affirmative action, which sort of pitted Asian against blacks. See, that's what media does. That's the media's reframing of shit. The affirmative action when it came to the Supreme Court ruling, especially when it comes to the Ivy League schools, was definitely it was more about Asians against whites. More white folks are displaced by that affirmative action ruling than black folks. Way more. And that was not the focus. The focus was trying to pit blacks against Asians. And I'm like, what part of the game is this? I'm like, but whatever. Let's get back into this, y'all.
Americans, we know, have more fast twitch muscle fibers, which is why it's easier for them to build muscle mass than other races, etc. Right? Height levels, whatever. So what he's saying is that on the physiology side, we're all different.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times races have a lot of similarities. Then he went on to say, well, we also have different IQs. Since we have different IQs, it would make sense, and the logical conclusion would be our brains are different as well.
Right.
Because if we're different physically,
right?
And a component of your brain is obviously your IQ.
Yeah.
Then we probably have different brains as well, because on average, right, the races have different IQs. We know Asians are at the top, whites are in the middle, and then blacks are on the lower end typically. But he's saying if our IQs are lower, that by
according to what? Provide the reference, cite your sources. This is a very large platform that's very influential. You guys are just saying these things as black men agreeing with the racist white man.
definition means that our brains are different as well. So that's, I think, the logical conclusion he came to.
Right, but again, that's just not factual. He said it with so much conviction, and that's the problem with people like him. They say things that are opinionated that isn't necessarily factual, and say it with so much conviction that logically it follows, but there's no science that backs that up.
People like me
Yeah.
What is that
With
supposed to
opinions
mean?
like you.
It means idiots that get on platforms that are irresponsible and say rude, racist shit with all the confidence in the goddamn world. People like you. That's what she meant. Clown ass nigga. Come on, man.
White people.
Asians are trained differently. They're trained to.
Nick, did you have anything to respond? Did that make sense when I distilled that?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right.
So, you understand what I mean now? Yeah. If the physiology is the same, that means, and IQs are different, that means, oh, well, the brains are probably different too. That's what he's trying to say.
Okay, so the brains are probably different too. Probably. What do these guys say about probably and possibly and all the shit that they say when women say these things and if they're not rooted in fact? Oh, they're probably different too. Great, they're probably different. What is with the hierarchy? What is with the Asians on the top and the whites and the blacks at the bottom? Where are the references? Like, people would actually entertain these types of discussions if there's studies done and there's some scientific proof behind this.
I agree with what to Nick's point. He did also say that before God we are equal.
Yes.
And which that is fact.
Okay, go ahead.
So I think it's very important for people to understand, especially, and I'm not saying this in a classist way, I understand education is privilege, but if you don't have the education of knowing how to interpret research correctly, you're going to be very hindered with the way that you think about life. We have to understand that correlation does not always equal causation. So humans like to think very linearly. Oh, racial groups have different stratifications of standardized test scores, for example, which means
Thank you. This girl's actually spitting right now. I'm going to let her get into that in a second. The problem with a lot of these conversations and a lot of these platforms is they always want to make it so simple. They want to chalk it up to one or two factors and use these as talking points and ride them out till the cows come home. It's like, pause. This is not a linear equation. There's a lot that goes into these things in understanding where folks are in today's day and age. But let's get into this.
Means this is wrong, but races must inherently genetically be different in intelligence. That is an incorrect statement. Correlation does not equal causation. The reasons are oftentimes multifaceted: opportunity, resources, childhood, family life, home life, so on and so forth. I have never heard any type of research that shows there's a genetic difference between the races and their intelligence. I wouldn't even know how to physically measure, like is it the neuronal connections? Is it the glucose utilization in the brain that is making the IQ higher? I don't know what that would be. I've never read those studies.
Yeah, we don't even got to go there because there's no way that we can even prove that as a fact sitting at this table. That's like a losing argument right there. We can keep going. No, we can't because you're not a scientist, Bill Nye.
We can't because
science guy.
The literature on this is not disputed at all. I mean, if you look at...
So there's literature on this?
There is.
Okay.
Can you state the...
What did we just witness? What did we just witness, y'all?
Get him out of here! He's got no place in here! Get rid of him! Okay.
Myron Gaines, who's doubling down on all these things that Nick Fuentes is saying, just asked him, oh, so there is literature on this, right? So there is. So he didn't even know where any of Nick Fuentes' points is coming from, but he's buying into it and espousing negative talking points to the black community that he's supposedly supposed to be a part of, but you don't know anything about his sources. And he says, oh, the literature on this, he still didn't cite it, didn't reference any of the literature he's speaking about, but oh, the literature says X, Y, and Z. Myron's dumbass didn't even know the literature existed, but he's so confidently doubling down and assisting Nick Fuentes make his dumbass claims.
Because they're trying to say that there's no literature.
I literally just said that it's not fact.
I feel like it's scientific.
Like it's not.
Ladies, please let me speak.
It's not. I mean, you can do your own research on this, but it's not a controversial thing at all that blacks, whites, Asians, Hispanics stratify along those lines in IQ tests.
That's not.
Stop the cap.
It's a total fabrication.
That's not controversial. Do you hear the idiocy that's being espoused on these platforms? It's not controversial to say that, oh, by genetic, that you're going to be dumb.
That's not what we're debating right now.
Well, you did. You said
No,
we
it's
have no
not.
science to back up your
No, I've
But
said you don't
that's-
have
the
any
literature's
science to back up the
completely-
brain aspect of it.
Once again, the literature that can back it up, not the science, the literature. Literature, by definition, written works, especially those considered of superior or lasting artistic merit. The literature. All right? Be careful with the words you're saying because you're not saying anything of substance, sir.
Baby, I'm not.
You're
I
missing the
agree.
point.
I agree with what you said. I agree with the. I know Asians, black. I understand how that falls. I promise I do.
Okay.
But there is no facts behind my brain being different because I'm black and yours is different because you're white.
But-
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, you're missing the point. The point was to say that IQ as a function of brain. That was the point. So you're sort of missing the point.
So the point was IQ is function of brain. So the point was that, but you went to make the claims that black people have the lowest function of brain, but that was the point ultimately? You can't make this shit up.
He's saying the fact that there's different tiers of IQs based on race must mean that the brains are different based on race as well.
That's an incorrect.
But that's what I'm saying. That's something that you cannot prove. Like I understand. I
All
completely
right, so
understand.
y'all don't agree with that conclusion.
These are all opinions.
All right, so we can agree to disagree on this topic.
Yes.
All right. Yes. Did anyone else have anything before?
No.
Oh, I want to share something. Okay,
Alright.
this is inspirational. Okay, you guys, K through 12, I was like a completely deficient student, C's, B's, like not very good at all, didn't believe in myself.
Yeah.
Got into college, did really, really, really well, and now I attend a top 50 medical school. So this is why I'm like very passionate about not believing that it's just completely nature, because I do believe, that it's not completely nature and that it can also be nurture, because my environment changed when I got into college. And now
Now, I have to, because I've been cooking all the people in this room, and I said everybody went out sad. I have to give this young lady her credit because she was the only one that didn't egg Nick on to say nigger. He was not cheering say Nick. She was not one of the ones saying cheering. And then she was disgusted when he said it, and then she had a problem after. And she was standing up the whole time for the incorrect facts, or standing up to the incorrect facts. So shout out to her. She's the only one. But let's get back into this.
I'm falling out.
And I'll piggyback off that because since I'm on a quest to go to law school, something about the LSAT is that the way it's written, it's literally written
Racist?
no, not racist, but it's actually inclusive because it's written to a standard that no matter socioeconomics, background, anything, if you study the correct way, you could be a bum living under a bridge and you can still score high enough because the verbiage, the types of questions, it's literally about things that you can learn.
Yeah.
It's not about anything else that like life experiences, none of that matters.
School isn't even about life experiences.
So ladies, you guys are all familiar with the fact that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't want to work hard?
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
I understand where you're coming from. That hey, I beat the odds, etc. But you got to also remember that being a hard worker doesn't necessarily mean that you have IQ and it goes the other way around. Because there's a lot of people that have high IQ that are lazy as fuck and don't make it in life either.
Right.
So I've always said that there's a lot of people that are book smart that do well in school, but they're still morons. I mean, we brought them on the show plenty of times. Like girls that have high level degrees.
There is a lot of those. Who said something I should do? Hold on. Get into this. B2 Cool says, yo, LTTV, you and Duke the Don should run this one again and double react to this buffoonery. This is a very long reaction. I don't know if I'm going to run this one back again, and I know Duke is going to cook the shit out of these folks, so I don't even want to get in his way in that reaction. You know Duke's going to have a lot to say, and Duke's going to bring up a lot of facts and a lot of things to cook these. Man, Duke's going to have his way with these folks, so I don't even want to get in his way on that reaction, especially the fact that I've already said a lot of shit on this stream. I don't know about that one, but I will call in if he opens the call line to cook these niggas.
And they're still idiots. So I would say education and schooling and being a good student doesn't necessarily mean you are intelligent.
It's just your
Correct.
drive.
We
It's your
should all
drive.
take a. You
Yeah.
should do one time like everyone takes an IQ test and then like comes on.
That'd be funny.
Yeah,
But just after your point as well.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, your choice of wanting to learn and become better means you who you are today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even though we might have, for example, like issues of schooling, environment, and these other external issues, if you're a person that wants to do better for yourself, black, white, Asian, doesn't
That's
matter,
what I have,
Chinese. Once again, it's all on you as an individual to do
Yeah.
better for yourself.
And I would
I agree.
argue that it is nurture far more than it is nature.
There was literally no point to be made here. They just wanted to lean into the racial talking point that black people have inferior IQs. That's all they wanted to say. They didn't substantiate it at all.
And I believe
They
that-
spoke around the whole point. They just wanted that to be a constant talking point.
Nick is arguing that it is nature far more than it is nature.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
and it's part of a bigger point of view, which is that I think that genetics play a much greater role than people would like to believe. I think that so much of our behaviors are genetic. I think that so many of our attributes are genetic. And I think that people have a bias against that because we have this culture. It makes us uncomfortable.
It does.
Because genetics are unchangeable and they're immutable.
Mm-hmm.
So people have this idea that, but there's an answer for this. People have this idea that if something's genetic, it's very frustrating because then I can't change it, I can't improve.
That's not true.
But what it tells us, though, well, like height, like I can't make myself taller,
Right?
You know, and like and there's a lot of things. A bald person can't make themselves grow hair, and that's.
I used an invasive hair transplant. Genetically, I would have been bald, so he's correct.
So the point is that, you know, although the reality might be that genetics matter a lot, I think have a tendency to, it's wishful thinking that it's not so. Here's the thing, though. When it comes to these attributes, the answer is like, yes, inequality is real. It should make us uncomfortable. It's a fact. You know, we see it all the time. And so many of the culture war issues are about inequality. Like when you look at the dating stuff or the sex, incel stuff, it's about inequality. Gender stuff, it's about inequality. Race stuff, inequality. And the answer to inequality is that people are more than matter. People have souls. People are not just, you know, what their product of their labor is or their house or how tall they are. People are created by God. So the answer to inequality is not to ignore it.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
And not to get offended by it or make it uncomfortable. We have to take those things into account to govern society because we can't solve problems if we don't know the real causes. And so I posed earlier, you know, what's the persistent fact is black and white inequality. What's the answer? Is it racism or circumstance or is it genetics? People should be open-minded about the genetics because we want to solve it, but we should love people regardless of, you know, what.
Stop the cap.
Whether that inequality is baked in or it's a result of discrimination. So that's just my thesis.
I mean, you package it really nice. I got a question.
You had an entire thesis statement based on nothing but your opinion. Oh, black people it must be this way. We can't figure out what the nurture is. So then the nature must be, that's what it is. That's the entire thesis statement, not a single fact, not a stat, not a reference to nothing, to cite any sources to anything. Oh, the literature exists. But that's just your conclusion. Why do we listen to racist idiots like this? What points can they possibly make? You know what? I wanted to react to this entire thing. Let's just get to the nigger moment and let's just get over this because this is terrible. We have more Pearl cooking to do. Do y'all know Pearl fucked up again? Again? We got more, but Jesus Christ, I don't even want to talk about Pearl dusting it up anymore. It's really uninteresting to me, but she fucked up once again, so we're going to cover this. And this guy did a really good breakdown on the Pearl video, so we're going to react to that. But let's get into this, man. Where was the moment?
So if my consent is me being there.
No,
if I don't want to be there, I would not be there. That's all I'm saying. If I don't like a guy and I know I don't like a guy, I'm not gonna put myself in a position. Maybe I'm telling you, oh, I don't like you, I don't like you, I don't like you.
Oh, that's funny. This goes into the context of what this is what she's talking about right now is exactly what we're gonna cook Pearl for. That's what's funny about that. The irony of that. Because Pearl fucked up.
Celebrity girls are sluts and they don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Okay,
facts.
then
But you don't understand that because you're a female. You don't
Exactly.
understand what it's.
All right, y'all, hold on. Let me find the moment. I don't want to struggle on air. So let me just do this privately. Oh, there we go. Hold on. You see Drake's excuse for the zest? Drake tried to say that he colored his fingernails pink and all these zesty colors because he tried to avoid biting his nails. So he blamed it on Lil Yachty, no accountability, and yikes, man. Drake going outside. Don't do this to our city, Drake. Let's get it.
Do it, nigga.
No, I can't. That would be implied.
Do it, Nick.
Let's hear the start of this. We got to go all the way back.
And then we got here, Sam Carter goes, why does Meyer support Republicans like Trump who don't want Muslims like his family in America? And why does the USA economy and black people do better under Democrats than since we are born? Please show our state credible sources. Show our state. You sound like a faggot, bro. I'm going to be all the way honest. Like, if you know, go watch fucking Young Turks or something like that. You fucking liberal faggot. 1 to 3 huevos. Yeah. Huevos. Appreciate that. First question for ladies. How many baby daddies y'all got and how many are present in the child's life?
One. I have one.
One.
Zero.
One baby daddy, yes.
Yeah. Now, you know why they asked that question. It's a panel full of black women. They're just like, oh, they must be all single mothers and baby daddying it up, but, you know.
Wow, I have one.
Is
that a question because we're black?
I got 0.
Yeah.
Because black women.
Yeah, kind of is. Yeah.
White women don't have multiple baby daddies.
Just to say that.
Everyone is going to be light skinned in the future. The BBC is snatching up all the big booty white girls. Sorry, Nick. Sorry, Nick.
Not if I can help it.
Stop it. Shots Eminem for hosting Nick on my B-Day. Nick, would you say that you have a lot of support from a black/Hispanic audience? And if so, how come? Unfortunately, missed out on the rally tickets to see for myself.
Yeah, blacks love me because I'm honest.
Stop the cap. It's a total fabrication.
Blacks love me.
Right? I love them.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
I don't believe you, bro.
How she refer to blacks then? How she refer?
You don't want to hear my second choice.
Oh yeah.
It's a joke.
It's funny. You should actually do stand up sometime. Maybe it would actually be.
Hell no! Trash ass
nigga. I think she's joking.
Okay.
No.
Do it, Nick. Do it.
No, I can't. That would be implied.
Do it, Nick, so you can get banned again.
You can say it.
Say it. Come on, man. I want you to say it.
For real.
Notice that girl's face. The girl, the only girl that was spitting facts. Notice her face in that last clip. She was like, nope. She wasn't on board.
That would be implied.
Do it, Nick, so you can get
Hold on.
banned again.
You can say it.
Say it. Come on, man. I want you to say it.
For real. Yeah, what you got?
You want me to say it? Is anyone going to hit me if I say it?
Everybody's on board. The entire room. They're not saying stop. Myron's the one that says do it. Fresh is a robot, so he don't have a mind of his own. Mindless drone. All these girls, except the one in the pink. All of them. Yeah, do it. Everybody in the room, minus Fresh and Fit, because Fresh and Fit, we already got them the fuck out of here. Everybody in that room, though. Wait, what?
We're putting you on probation.
There we go.
We're putting you on probation.
Minus the girl in the pink. Minus the girl in the pink.
We're putting you on probation.
2 hours. Come on, Nick. What you got?
All right, nigger.
At that point, though, this lady should have picked up and gone. If she was really mortified, so I'm not even letting her off the hook. I don't know why I let her off the hook. If you're really mortified, what does she have? There's an hour left in this video. She stayed for the last hour. If she didn't want to promote herself and finish this thing and go back, she should have left at that point if she was really mortified. If you were really mad at him doing that and mad at the host for allowing this should have never taken place in your presence. Yep, back to the original point. They all went out sad. All of them.
We're putting you on probation. We're putting you on probation.
Fresh and Fit. Look at this nigga covering his face.
Oh, shut up, nigga.
How are you gonna act like he did something he violated? Oh my god! Like you guys were fucking egging this pussy to. Man, come on, man. What are we doing out here?
Awesome.
Oh yeah, ban them now.
It's funny that Myron keeps calling folks faggots when we have the picture of him in his college dorm room all hugged up nude with a white dude in his bed. Remember that zestiness? We reacted to that. There's no excuse for that, Myron. All that zest in your college dorm room.
Yo, it is amazing to me how a word can get everybody so fucking mad, bro. Wait, hold on. Yo, we asked.
The ultimate Carlton move. A word can get people mad. Remember, if y'all watch the new Bel Air, Carlton in the locker room with his white friends, letting them say nigga going outside when Will walked in. This is way worse than that. This is reality. And it's pathetic.
We didn't ask for it. You guys asked for it.
I definitely want to know what's on your top, because you gonna definitely know what's on mine. Cracker.
Wait, what did she say?
Okay.
You want a wife and kids in the future?
We got,
oh my goodness.
hold on, we got up next.
Do you say that on your YouTube channel often?
Yeah.
Oh God.
No.
But how do you use it?
This is why he's a virgin.
Okay,
You gotta be able to say it.
How do you use it though?
No, I agree
Neutral.
in free speech, so then you cannot hang out with him.
Damn.
Okay.
It was used. What?
All right.
No, free speech is important, so you know who not to hang out with.
It's a word.
Yeah, a word used
Okay.
It's a forbidden racial word that you ain't supposed to be using on these airways. That's why you guys have to cut it from YouTube and go to Rumble, because you'll get a guideline strike for hate speech. It's funny that they want to violate that word and be like, it's just a word. All right, go for another word. Go for another word for another community. How about you guys use some derogatory terms to describe the Jewish people? Since it's just a word and it's free speech, huh? How about y'all go over that, how about y'all crawl on that ledge? Because nobody actually wants to do that. Nobody actually wants to step into that territory. Everybody wants to disrespect the blacks. Now, I'm not saying disrespect other races. I'm just making a point that the whole grift is shit on black folks, make money all the way up because black folks are going to support other black folks. And that's where the line's drawn. If you're using your people to exploit them to other races for financial interest, get the fuck out of here. We ain't playing that shit anymore. Well, not anymore. Not at all.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
I'm not supporting any of these content creators that do this. Any of these content creators that get on panels and try to intellectualize the cowardice. I'm not having it. Oh, but if you look at it from this angle, we should be able to sit down and just nope. You're not on code. You're not on principle. You're not black first. You're not for your people. At that point, you're anti-black. I'm not one of these people that say, oh, you got to be a pro-black. You got to be X, Y, and Z. But if you are denigrating your own race, you're dusty. I'm not for the racism on any level, towards any race. So when people come with this bullshit, I'm not having it, especially towards ours, nah. And if black men want to just intellectualize the cowardice on their platforms and not stand up for things like this and get called all sorts of names from the black women, I'm not standing up for these cowards. Y'all want to be pussy. Y'all want to act powerless. Shout out to BF with the $3 super chat. And they don't leave. A representation of division. And they don't leave? Oh, yeah, it is true. They don't leave. They just sit here the whole time.
Degrade us. But I feel like it's okay if I call you a cracker, right?
No, well, here's the difference. I'm not saying that you
No,
can't.
well.
The difference.
Well, are you gonna listen?
Okay.
I'm not saying you can't utter the word, but that's how it is. I mean, there are words that I won't utter. Like I'll say GD instead of goddamn because I believe that's blasphemy. But I think.
Get him out of here! He's got no place in here! Get rid of him! Okay? God damn!
It's blasphemy, sir. How about blasphemy while wearing the cross? This is really? Now, I'm not trying to disrespect any religious folks out here, but come on, pussy ass nigga. You're gonna sit up on the platform and say nigger with your chest out and then say nigga after saying nigger. But, oh, I'm not gonna say goddamn. It's blasphemy to say goddamn. But I'm gonna disrespect a whole room of black folks. And this is this is what's so horrible about this. What are the women supposed to do in this case? It's not their show, it's not their apartment, they're guests here, they're women. What they can do is get the fuck out of the room, walk away. What Myron and Fresh are doing, egging them to say it. It's not even just like, okay, they're gonna kick him out for saying these things. You're egging him to say it. You're leaning into this bullshit. You're leaning into the alt-right racist bullshit as black men. Allegedly for Myron. No self-pride, all self-hate. You hate your own kind, you hate your race. You do it to yourself. It's pathetic. Can't support these folks at all.
I think it's foolish to say the N-word if you're talking about it in a neutral way. I think it's kind of juvenile. But I'm not talking about like, hey, N. I'm saying like, if you're going to refer to the word, you can utter the word. I don't think it makes you a bad person.
Why are you saying N when you just said the word? You're going to say the word again.
Then what was the point of you saying N-word throughout that whole diatribe? Make it make sense.
What context you're reading?
That's what I was like, how you saying it? How you saying it? We just talking about like casually.
Yeah, how you saying it?
Like I said,
you're saying it's neutral. Like how would you say it? Just say it.
He already did. I don't want to fucking hear it again.
Okay.
He said it twice.
Right.
We got it.
Like I said, there's a big difference between people get canceled for uttering the word versus directing it at somebody in a hateful way.
Why do you look at her when you say that?
I'm not looking at the group. You people are so sensitive.
You people,
I'm being facetious. I'm being facetious.
Listen, you asked for it, he gave it to you. I don't know what you asked
What is the point, Myron? What is the point?
Bro, we're finished, bro. We're finished.
Getting fucking canceled.
I heard
What's the point?
I don't choose this when we come on the podcast.
Magic word 3 times?
What's the point, Myron?
Listen, man.
Yeah.
They said, what's the point? And while they're on the podcast, because these guys are trying their hardest to go viral and get a moment. So as he's saying the racist rhetoric, this dumbass comes out with the bullshit KKK hood.
How did this happen? Who was the idiot that did this?
This is pathetic. They talk about YouTube and black YouTube and some of the spaces being like a high school type shit. This is juvenile. This is real middle school type humor.
Myron, what's the point?
Myron,
I need to know.
I am not in agreement with this.
What is the point?
I don't agree with this.
What's the point? Hey, man, I heard that somebody else saying the magic word, bro. Yeah,
And y'all just recorded it.
Did Fresh finally utter some words and say he doesn't agree with this?
Yeah.
Can you take it off though? It's disrespecting. Keep it on. Let everybody see.
All right, where
Oh, she's leaving. Is she gonna leave?
Where we at? I can't really read this shit. I ain't gonna lie, I can't really see through this fucking.
That's what they used to say too. That's why they made the hoes bigger back in the day. Stupid.
Yeah. Well, it's the first time. Where we at here?
Okay, so the black woman that was actually combating them with some facts and speaking some sense for a bit actually picked up and left when Myron put on the KKK hood. So she left. She didn't go out completely sad, but she still kind of went out sad. Let me explain.
You're done.
She comes back because she was in that last scene at the end, so she must come back. And she did not leave when Nick Fuentes said nigger, so she comes back.
Give this 50 to Fresh.
Yeah. Brandon, you beat Africa 101 a lion right now. If we didn't bring you here, well, you're welcome. Get this $50 to Fresh. Shout out to you, bro. Section 8 behavior says, calling it now. This podcast is going to end up in a roll star by the end of the show.
I'm not gonna go well for me.
After that comment, it's
Oh
probably for you,
my
bro.
god.
Fresh's Ball says, name one red flag that turns you on. Fresh, I want Kiki. Nick can have the others.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is game.
Do you hear their fan base and the names of their fans and man?
Kiki looks like she can do the quack quack 1000.
Why is your name Fresh as Balls?
That's what 10,000. And I want it done to me.
Pause.
Shout out to my dog, Big Mo.
Yes,
Okay.
Wait, who said that?
Justin Bird
Fresh's
says.
balls.
Where is that?
Don't mind that. Genetic differences are innate. Everything else aside, why do we always omit the black family structure from this conversation? Blacks sold other blacks into slavery, and they were black slave owners.
We already said that.
Yeah, we did. To the glitz. Race mixing is fine.
Mixing.
You know what, y'all? Do you know what, y'all?
We don't care.
Let me tell you, we don't care.
All right.
First of all, these people aren't even that.
That
Kid
would
you
find me
not.
attractive, but
I'm
there-
sorry.
I would say a bunch
Anyone
of
at
people
this
think that you're
table
dumb.
finds them attractive?
I don't want to go there, sister.
Oh, okay.
I
think he's pretty handsome.
Yeah, we not digging.
I think he's a pretty handsome guy.
So you will go.
Nah, let's not get crazy.
Now let's see who made it to the end, because I don't really care to watch this circular conversation that doesn't go anywhere.
Because he wanted to, they decided to punch him in the face because they wanted to. That's
We're able to share space.
Why?
No.
Yeah.
I noticed something while watching this before. I want to see if I can catch this on the live. Somebody sent them a super chat, and the focus of their conversation had nothing to do with the fact that Nick Fuentes said nigga. It had nothing to do with the fact that he had the KKK helmet on. It had everything to do about the ladies at the table, and this is a content creator that we know on this channel, and we're about to see that super chat if I can find it, because it's not surprising that he did this, but
No, we're saying like so.
Is that you doing shrooms men don't lie?
No.
where is it? Hold on.
Sound
How about your
bored.
bestie?
You sound bored and dumb.
2020, it is hit. No.
Into that.
All right. Jump on there with him. Nick, and then
Oh, I missed it. It was further back. It was on that screen though when they were reading those super chats from that. I seen it come in, and I was like, wait a minute, what in the fuck is this?
Yeah, facts.
Yikes. Okay, I'm probably not gonna find that. Oh,
That's on you.
never mind. I could potentially find it.
why don't you speak up more when we're talking about
Let's see, y'all. It's further back then.
True.
And I'm in mortgage. So can someone tell the lady next to Myra
That's
that the
fact.
plans?
No.
No one is the same. The real snake.
Jump from that.
Definitely a problem.
That one.
He's
Wait, so having a bunch
Did they
adults.
skip one? Hey, yo, come on. Where is this, man? I know it's somewhere in here. I'm finding this shit. Hold on, y'all.
What?
Children.
out of 109 countries. Is most
and crazy play about me. Play with me. It's hard.
Yes, these are true. They are. Shout out to you.
Now, this is from Tommy Sotomayor. So Tommy caught this show live, and this is what Tommy had to say. Tommy was spitting some facts on his IG about other related stories, but then Tommy said this: please stop letting pro-black women or women who wear other people's hair on their head talk. I need to be there, bro. Tommy Sotomayor. So Tommy seen this stream. This is after the nigga comment, and this was Tommy's main focus. Tommy was more concerned about the hair helmets, as he calls it, from the black women on the panel, pro-black women. Then Nick Fuentes saying nigger with his chest out, and Myron and Fresh goading him to do it. So, Tommy,
I've seen him do it.
let me move this right here. It's right here, man. Tommy, if you're in the chat, call in, explain this dustiness. Link is in the description. If you are watching this show, call in and explain this dustiness. Why is this your primary focus? I know we disagree on many things, but as witnessing this as a black man, that's your primary focus, to look at these women with their dusty wigs. Do they even have? I didn't even see these girls' wigs. I was not focused on that at all. Let me see. She has braids. She's mixed. Just her natural curls, I believe. Natural curls. Wig on this one. We've seen this one before. They bring her in a lot as a plant. Natural hair. Yeah. I don't even know. They don't even have dusty wigs like that. They don't have those plastered on. You know, the ones that have the little baby edges just curled entirely too close to the eyebrows and shit. Like, they don't have those dusty wigs. Like, this is not that. This is natural hair for half of them. Couple of wigs. 2 wigs. We got 2 wigs right here. We got blonde wig and this wig. And then I think this is a wig right here, too. That should not be the focus. Nonetheless. Why do we even give a shit? Someone said that's very on brand for Tommy. That is very on brand for Tommy to call out the hair. All right, somebody, not at all.
Stop the
Emmanuel
cap.
Dixon says LT supports Tommy because Tommy inspired him as a content creator. That's not true at all.
Stop the cap.
Not true at all. I heard about Tommy after I heard about Kevin Samuels. I heard about Tommy during the Tommy and the Kwame beef. I was well into my content creation. I had 10,000 subscribers on another channel. I was already had a podcast making money. I already quit my job and made full-time content creation before I even heard of who Tommy Sotomayor is. So that's not true. I started podcasting because I was watching like Breakfast Club and Joe Rogan and them niggas. I got in way earlier than a lot of these folks. I've been around for a long time on these airways. Tommy was not an inspiration at all. I like Tommy's opinions on things, and I think that he has a different way of seeing the world. And he had some good shows where he spitting facts. So that's why I supported his brand. And I was doing breakdowns about a bunch of shit that he was tangled in, and I called him out on a few things, which I ended up being wrong, and he was actually right about some of the things he said about Kevin Samuels. So that's why we ended up, because he was handling the objective critique. He was saying good video. He was supporting the channel for a while I was doing objective breakdowns, having no problems with anybody in the matter, just trying to pick it apart, trying to be objective. I say objective like it's trying to be objective. So I see the difference in opinion. I try to support Tommy, but time and time again, I'm realizing that a lot of these people on this platform, when it comes to the overall big picture, don't see eye to eye on certain things, and we focus on different things. So there's no link pinned. What do you mean there's no link pinned? The call-in link is right there. It's at the chat. I just clicked on it on another thing. It's pinned in the chat. I'll pin it again. Mods, y'all don't want to share the link. It's pinned. Let me do this again, y'all. I'm not going to post it with everything. Y'all already know what the password is. The same password every time. Tommy's watching this, making questionable super chats, spending money supporting this. Yeah, listen, y'all can spend your money however you want to spend your money. I'm not policing it, but when I see it, I know what it is. It's support for this fuckery. Tommy's been on this show before, but he didn't read through the obvious signs that he was being slimed by these folks. I remember I covered this, and I was talking to Tommy remember that incident when he got punched in the face by one of the girls on Fresh and Fit? And they were moving slimy behind the scenes with DJ Academics. I had a conversation with Tommy after that when I was covering the whole thing. I made some intimations to what they were doing. And I'm like, don't you think that's a little weird? They did X, Y, and Z and X, Y, and Z. Don't you think that's a little weird? I'm not trying to throw them completely under the bus, but I made it apparent that that's what the fuck shit they were doing. So there's that. We got, what is this, Christy O on the line? Christy, are you ready to come up front stage?
I can't see you.
Oh, yeah, my camera died. It's been on for too long. Sony issues.
Okay.
Give me a second. I'll do it on another camera.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Oh, there you are. I can see you.
Okay.
Okay, give me 1 second, Christy.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. All right, let me pull it up on the screen. What is this one showing? It's just showing some fuck shit. Sorry, folks. We got a caller. We have Christy O. Round of applause for Christy O. Let's get it.
Hey, what's going on? So, I wanted to. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I wanted to mention the difference between, I think some people got it, some people did not get it, but the difference between ethnic group and race. Now, an Arab person, that is being Arabic, if you speak Arabic, being Arabic, that's an ethnic group. That means you're bound together by culture, language, history, and ancestry. So there are white Arabs, there are black Arabs, there are Hispaniola Arabs. I think some people are looking at Arab like they're just a group of a race, and they're not a race, they're an ethnic group. So you'll have Arabs in Africa, you have them in Europe, you have them in Asia. So when Byron uses the term black Arab, you're a black man. Basically, we have an ethnic group in a popular country like Nigeria is Hausa. Yeah, they're Hausa, that's their ethnic group, but they're still Nigerians. They're still black. So don't confuse an ethnic group with taking away someone's entire race. That doesn't define somebody's race. Ethnic group is culture, language, history, ancestry. So just to clarify that, no matter how much we don't like or who doesn't like Byron, we still want to make sure that we're stating facts. Byron is a black man, so that's just what it is.
Yeah, I was on that side of the argument last time when we were talking about that. I'm like, he seems like he's black, but people are saying that he's not because he claims to not be, and he's not down with the plight that...
And it doesn't matter what he claims to be.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, when you're dead, you're a black man.
Yep.
So he grew up in New England, Connecticut. I grew up in New England. Like, homie, I don't care how many white friends you have, like, you're black. Both your parents are from Sudan, you're Sudanese, you're black, homie. Like, not only you black, you African. So, don't let that confuse you. Some people just don't like who they are. Maybe all his friends were white and he was the darker one. He doesn't like himself. You don't like yourself, cool. But don't say that you're not black. You clearly black. And I feel like a lot of us make this shit too complicated. Trust me, it's not as complicated as trying to make it. He's black.
You could see the self-hate.
You're looking at a black man.
The self-hate was so evident in that interview when he was just blindly agreeing with Nick Fuentes and didn't even know that there was if there was literature or any science behind the things he was saying. It's just that he just automatically believes black people are inferior, and he wants to espouse that rhetoric for this alt-right grift. It's so obvious, and you see it. He hates himself.
And well, that's clearly why he brought this guy on as a guest, because that's probably how he really feels about his own people. So he just needs someone else to say it for him. Like, one thing I noticed was that when everybody started talking at the same time, he would tell the women to stop talking. Oh, let him finish his point. Let him finish his point. I'm like, I don't remember you one time telling this dude to stop so the girls can finish the point. So, just little, subtleties that you notice, stuff like that. You know where somebody really stands, who they're really aligned with.
Yep. This was a conversation that was going on in the chat, right? The whole race, ethnicity thing. This was going on for a while in the chat. I wasn't able to tune in because I was running the show, but
at the beginning I saw some comments. Some people were like, "Well, Africa, it's not that confusing." I'm like, "Thank you," but then some people just try to be too extra. It's just
So chat, does that settle this? Are we good now? Are we gonna keep debating whether Myron is black or not? Can we just confirm that he's a self-hate nigga that does not like black folks?
That's basically what he is. I mean, whether you like it or not, he's still a black man at the end of the day,
Yeah, and the thing is,
you don't like him.
We could debate about his blackness all day, but we still have the other half of the podcast, Fresh, who is clearly black, and there's no denouncing that. So
is he West African? I thought someone said that.
I think he's Bayesian.
Like Ghanaian or something?
I think he's Bayesian.
He's Caribbean.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
you can't deny that.
Can't deny that at all. There's no excuse for that.
I wonder how he feels about his friend, his partner, with some of his comments that the other African brother be making. I feel like he might be feeling sometimes like he doesn't agree with it, but maybe he's too scared to say something.
He said he didn't agree when Myron put on the KKK hat, but he was already he was already in a video where Myron did that before. So I'm like, you can't say you don't agree with that now, but you were there laughing with Zerka and the other fool in that video when he was doing it the first time. So it's like, come on, man, that's disingenuous.
No, it's too late. It's too late. Once you caught laughing the first time, that's how you really feel. You can't change it. That's what it is. You know, if you want to be part of that sector of our culture of self-hating blacks, you can go there. There are people over there, but you're pretty much going to be the laughing stock of the majority of our people. So,
okay,
you know,
so
that's what you chose to do.
Sorry for cutting you off, but they're still debating it in the chat. They're saying you're wrong, and then they're saying he's African but not black. To be honest, we're done debating this. I'm not debating this.
I can throw my, like, yeah, come on.
It is what it is at this point.
Yeah, that's already I already know what it is, what he is. So some people just like to talk.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I mean, you know, that's basically all it is. Like the difference between ethnic group and race.
What do you think of the women that continue to go to Fresh and Fit and support their brand, knowing that who they are and how they're self-hating blacks? And a lot of them, they already know that their rhetoric against black women when they talk about dabbling in the dark and suggesting their following to not deal with black women because they're more aggressive, ratchet, and ghetto. All the things that they say about black women. What do you think about the black women that still sign up to go on this show for promo?
Oh, well, you just said it. I mean, they're going on for promo. You have to know, women are slick, man. We don't have to like you. We gonna get something in our pockets. We're going to play the role and smile and, you know, do all of that. We don't give, at the end of the day, we'll just walk out, high five each other and start laughing. We don't care. You know, they're doing that to, I'm not saying it's right. I wouldn't, but that's their own hustle. They have a certain look, try to get themselves to where they want to be. And next thing you know, it's like, oh, that's the girl from Fresh and Fit. Let me see what she's doing. It's easy access to continue to check you out. So, you know, with all due respect, if you want to know the mind of a woman, they probably don't give a fuck about them. They're just trying to be seen on camera, look pretty, say some words, and then see how many followers they got.
Yep. Okay, so we got a new caller. We got, was this Andre? Andre in the back?
Yeah, how you doing?
What's up, Andre?
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi, Andre.
It's good. It's good to be on. I saw this. I was just watching the Fresh and Fit episode with Nick on and everything like that. I've been following Nick Fuentes for a few years. I used to be a fan of him back in the day. I'm doing a stream tonight where I'm going to be talking about him. I've been involved on his network.
Used to be a Nick Fuentes fan.
That's why, honestly, I'm trying to fix my face. I'm trying to understand where he was going.
Rob that nigga, man.
I don't care where he's going with that. These Nick Fuentes fans, I seen it. I looked at him once and I'm like, I don't know about you. Let's see where you're going with this. He said he's a Nick Fuentes fan, and honestly,
I'm not mad at you.
oh, sorry, I was playing a drop. I don't know if you heard the drop, but yeah, he needed to get the fuck out of here because I don't have time for these agents to be playing these games and trying to make these debates, bro. What are you doing, man? You're a Nick Fuentes fan, man. Why are you back, man?
No. You've got the wrong impression, my friend.
Okay, let me be patient because I jumped the gun a lot. Let me be patient.
Yeah.
What do you got to say?
I was going on to say that I used to be back in the day, and I've been very critical of him. You can look me up. You know, we've been very critical of Nick Fuentes and all the bullshit he likes to spew. But I was saying, I was watching him on Fresh and Fit with a bunch of black women talking about, you know, genetics and IQ. And I would say, I disagree. I hate Nick to death. I can't stand him. I think what he did at January 6th was a failure. What he's been doing for the past few years has been a failure. It really hasn't moved the needle. I do agree on some of the ideological standpoint, but when it comes to all the other bullshit, yeah, he's a clown, a grifter, only wants more and more money. He's not really doing anything that's going to take anything forward. So Fresh and Fit, I don't even watch these people. These people are clowns to me. It just seems like it's this time right now when it comes to the manosphere content and all that stuff is just for the sake of trying to have people on, really for no reason, just make money. That's it. So watching him come on and stuff, it was a shit show. And I saw you guys talking about, what you guys were talking about, trying to see.
So when you say that you would agree with some stuff, what is it? Like, what is it about him that you used to like?
It's nothing about him. I mean, it was a time he was, I'm around the same age as him. But when it comes to the discussion on race, when it comes to the current direction of the nation, I would say ideologically there's an allegiance there. When it comes to what he's promoting and the way he's going about things, I say it doesn't move the needle, and it's not beneficial for anyone that wants the same goals we're talking about: the betterment of Black people in this country, the furthering the progression of our nation and our people. He's not playing, he's not being genuine. And that's the problem I have with Nick. He's not a genuine person. He's there simply now for the money and for the just the scenery. That's it.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Black men's response to have you seen any other Black men respond to this interview with Fresh and Fit platforming a known racist to say racist rhetoric? What do you think of the response? And what is your response to this interview with Fresh and Fit platforming him?
I don't mind them platforming. See, if they had someone, I'm going to put it this way. You could put me on that platform and the rhetoric wouldn't be different. The problem is with Nick is that he's only there just simply to make money, and he doesn't have a solution to any of the problems that's going on in the nation. Sitting here talking about the genetic differences between blacks and whites, or bringing up, how much he likes Hitler, doesn't take anything further. Now, bring up a discussion saying there's a genetic differences and there's uniqueness in each race of people, which is something that is, it's evident. It's not something that can be argued about. It's something that is true, that there are unique differences in people. But the way he does it is foolish. I can care less about it. If they could platform me, and I would say the same things, but the fact is he's not doing it in the way that's genuine. He's not pushing a message that is genuine and honest. That's the problem.
So you believe in the same things Nick Fuentes believes in. You're just genuine and honest is what you're saying.
I would very much say yes. When it comes to the differences in IQ, when it comes to differences in race, yes, as a Black man, I very much agree that it's something that's been researched on and it's been heavily noted. When it comes to Nick, he's just some fucking kid that just wants to come on and talk.
Okay, so when it comes to the IQ, the differences in IQ, what Nick said, the blacks at the bottom, Hispanics just above, then whites, and then Asians at the top. He said that. Can you substantiate his claims? Do you have anything to cite sources in regards to that claim?
Well, there's a lot of books, a lot of research has been on it. I'm thinking of the Minnesota twin study. That's one. You can look up Charles Murray, the bell curve. That's just the basic one everyone likes to throw out. But, the point he's making, and I hate to defend, I'm not going to defend him. I'm defending the research and the information, all of that. Not defending Nick Fuentes. I care less about the kid. I can't stand Nick Fuentes. But based on the evidence, looking at everything, it is very much true. There is a unique differences between the races when in terms of IQ. Now, that is on average. That's on average of which document was put down. That doesn't mean that blacks are less intelligent, but on average, when it comes to problem solving, when it comes to education, yes.
What is the source for that? The source for that?
It's tons of different sources. I don't have
it's tons of different sources. Can I get a few? Can I get one?
Well, you can look up one. You can look up the easiest one is Charles Murray, the bell curve.
The bell curve has been. The bell curve is.
No, it hasn't been debunked. So don't say it's been debunked. It has not. It's something that's very much well cited. You can go into something like
the bell curve is not something that the bell curve is not something.
Twin study.
It's not something that displays the genetic differences in IQ for blacks and black. It does not cite blacks being at the bottom. So
what is the bell curve? Have you read?
We're definitely what is the next one you said? So you said the bell curve cites that and it doesn't. What is the next one? What was the next one?
Have you read the book?
What is the next one?
Minnesota twin study.
The Minnesota twin study.
There's a bunch of other studies as well. I mean, honestly, you saying that it's not it is very much substantiated throughout science. The problem is that it's not promoted mainstream, given the amount of people that once you start talking about these things, admitting these things, and having this discussion on that there are unique differences among the races, people get sensitive, and that causes a lot of people's feathers to get ruffled.
No, hold on. You don't understand this. This is the problem that you don't understand. I built a very large platform with a following for people people can be influenced on these platforms. If you're going to get on these platforms that you did not build yourself and just try to espouse rhetoric in front of a large platform and a large viewing that you did not build yourself, I'm going to hold you to be responsible and cite your goddamn sources. We're not having that bullshit. And from the start of this, people are saying you're an agent, you look like a Carlton ass nigga, all this bullshit. We're giving you grace, but you're not. They're saying this, but we're giving you grace, but you're saying the same type of weak shit that you criticize Nick Fuentes for doing. You're not actually citing sources. You're saying there's many sources. Then you're throwing these names up without actually citing the specific part in the source that says this is this and that is that. So we're gonna have to dive in and do a fuck ton of information to reference the sources that you failed to do when you're the one that's making the claim. And I'm not having that bullshit.
Well, anyway,
get the fuck off my phone, bitch ass nigga. What's wrong with these guys? I'm not doing extra research because you're too dumb to substantiate